this, but now that we're starting so darn late, we may catch some of the game with him actually at the end here.
Yeah.
We always talk about Jay Muro a lot. Aaron Weiss is the other guy there. You think of, Batman and Robin or Hall and Oates or, whatever twosome you want to think of. And I think of Muro and Aaron Weiss. I might have to ask him, is he Batman or is he Robin in this group?
Yeah, Aaron's not really around during the year a lot, for these guys, when they go on, the winter event and stuff like that. He's got daughters of his own and a son that are into sports, and he's always running around with them. And you know how it is. So it's always tough for him to, get there for the winter and, spring events. But he plays a big part of that Black Ice team, and the guys really respect him. So curious to see what he has to say about the game and the event, and just all in all about his team, Black Ice. And he's always a character, and I'm sure he'll be good for a couple of laps as well. I know we had some parent-teacher conferences today, so once he's done, he'll be joining us.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, no, I love having Aaron on here. It's gonna be great to talk to him. And let's get started here with this game here in a second here.
Yeah, I do want to share. Today's the last day to order shirts, guys. If you're interested in this awesome shirt, make sure you get your orders in today. Go to statewarshockey.com and just go to our apparel section. You'll see the shirt. Get your orders in today.
Last chance.
Yeah, last chance. We're going to be placing orders later tonight. And it's pretty neat shirts. And
yeah, it's kind of our play off the pandemic here. Is it summer yet? I think we're all dying for the summer for many different reasons, but especially to get back to State Wars for sure. So let's dive into this game here. Just Come Together by the Beatles there. So we hear a lot of Beatles songs today. So if you don't like the Beatles, you go screw off here basically today, because we're going to be talking about them a lot along with this PAMA Pro game. So Mission Black Ice playing against the Tour Roadrunners. For anyone living under a rock and didn't see this game or know who was in the final, before we get started, I know George Brown and Trefty talked a lot here about this, Greg. But here you got two teams that definitely know each other pretty well, which can go one or two ways with that. I always feel, the Roadrunners are definitely the underdogs going into this game. Don't let anybody fool you. Anyone that tells you that's not true is just, in denial. Mission Black Ice is a heavy favorite, I would think, going into this game. Like it's mentioned during this broadcast, it's their fifth straight time in the championship game. They were actually 1-3 going into this game in finals, but they have been in. This will be their fifth straight. Be the Roadrunners' first chance to get to the big final here at the PAMA Pro. And, they have a younger team. Black Ice is not an old team by any means, but they had so much experience at this tournament and other tournaments being in big games. But the Roadrunners know them well. Some of them play together during the year. A lot of New York guys or New Jersey guys or East Coast guys together. So a lot of friends on both sides. A lot of guys have played on their Pi-Ha teams together with the Sting coming out of Rapid Fire. There's brothers on each team with the D Martinos that we'll get into. So I think when you play teams that Greg, sometimes I think it's to the underdog's benefit, knowing that they're going to just go hard on these guys, knowing that I know these guys. It's like playing a pickup game. I know them, so I'm not afraid of these guys. Or it could go the other way, where you just intimidate. It's like the little brother playing against the big brother, and pun intended there, but you're just not sure you're ready yet. And that's why I would think the first few minutes of this game is so imperative for the Roadrunners to come out really strong to prove something and then gain their confidence. But that didn't necessarily happen.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's funny. Everyone always says, the Roadrunners are a young team. And I don't really consider them young. 21, 22, there's some 24, Keith Johnson's a little older. I don't consider them young anymore. Once you're drinking age, you're not young.
Right.
Look at the NHL. There's 18-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids in the league. So I don't consider them young anymore. Plus, they're in the best shape of their lives right now. A lot of them are playing college hockey, whether it be roller or ice hockey. They're on their wheels a lot. And again, they're not that old. They're not that young anymore. So
right.
Yeah.
It can only
So,
be
I
an
mean,
excuse for so long. They've been part of the PAMA Pro, I think, since the second year, right?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, good things on the horizon for them. They again they're playing a lot of hockey, but great battle here, like you said, big brother versus little brother. That's a pretty cool comparison there, and there's a lot of brothers in this game. You got the Corso brothers, you got the Gerger brothers, you got the D Martino brothers,
Bennett's.
the Bennett brothers. So it's pretty cool to see.
What
I
makes
guess
the Di Martino one so different is they're on different teams. All the rest are
exactly.
with their brothers. Now they're playing against each other. So I know Mama Duke's at home, Eunice and Big Pete. It had to be tough for them to make it. I don't know. One's wearing a Roadrunner jersey, one's wearing a Black Ice jersey for this game sitting at home, or do they have one of those split jerseys you see sometimes where half the logos on each? But I was thinking maybe they're rooting for Joey because PJ's won so much in this thing. I got to say, they'll never admit it, but they're rooting for little Joe a little bit here, the baby.
Yeah.
But that's the big difference here with the brothers is they're playing against each other, Greg.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. That's the main storyline here is the Di Martino brothers playing against each other. But yeah, I would go ahead and agree with you there. I'm guessing they were probably rooting on Joey just because, again, he hasn't won yet, and he's the younger brother, he's the baby in the family, so I'm sure they're rooting for Joey.
Now, if you're thinking about this game before it starts, and obviously we know the outcome, but let's try to erase our memory for a second. A little bat spray in your face here. So we're starting from fresh. You don't know what's going on in this game. For the Roadrunners to win this game, if you're a Coach Vio, who do you need to be the best players on the rink for your team, do you think, going into this game if you're the Roadrunner? Who do you need to really step it up?
Well, obviously you need a goaltender, continue to keep playing well. That's always the start.
And he's been the best goalie of the tournament to this point.
Yes, exactly. Then it goes to team defense, obviously, in my opinion. But like you said, you need your key players to really step up in the big games. The Delamortes, the Bennett brothers, Halversons, the Di Martinos of the world. Those guys really need to come through, step up their game when it counts. It seemed like Black Ice had an answer to that. They just kind of swarmed them and played some phenomenal defense. But those are the key players on that team that need to come through, and other guys just have to play their roles. Don't change what you've been doing the whole tournament. Keep continuing what you're doing. Keep it smart. Keep it simple, and let your guys, your horses, do the work.
Yeah, and what's really tough with this is the Roadrunners historically, when they've dominated the junior division or their age groups, D1 or whatnot, in those divisions, when you watch them play, they have a short bench, and guys like Joey D or Max just play the whole game. Like I had watched it sometimes, but I can't believe they don't even sub. Like they play the whole game, So they really never had to go that deep into their lineup. But you look here in the PAMA Pro division, you can't win this tournament without three lines. We know it's longer games. It's more grueling. Now they're playing the third game of the day, quarter, semis, and a final. You need to be deep, and you need your best players to step it up. But what Joey and Max say, they can't stay out there all game and be effective in a game like this. And Jay Muro and Aaron Weiss, they have a much deeper bench to go down. So you really need your role players to really step it up in this game. And that's where I think the Roadrunners fell a little short too when this is over. And we'll talk more specifically as we go along. But you need everyone to step it up because you're not as deep as the guys in purple.
Yeah, you always need some secondary scoring. Maybe Corsos or Acosta or Martinis, guys like that. They need to really step up in games like this as well. Maybe chip away. Thinking that Black Ice might be really playing harder on our main guys, so I got to step in here and maybe bury a couple goals and chip away and get the guys going. It's always nice seeing secondary scoring.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, every team needs that, but you really need your top players then, the Max, the Joey, and we talked a lot about Delamorte the last couple of weeks, how dominant he was the last couple, and a guy like him, you need him to be as good as Max and Joey, and as good as the Pascalis and the Tiffenworths and the Di Martinos on the other side. You got to have your top players have to bring their best game in the biggest game, and that's why this game is a huge test for everybody involved. Now let's talk about the other side. So you got Black Ice. they're the big brother. You know how big brothers are. I'm a big brother. You know, you want to keep your little brother down as long as possible and not give him a chance here. And we're going to watch here. You brought this up earlier today. Before the game started, you're going to see D Martino circling Max Halverson here, almost like a guy, an animal circling his prey here before a game. And let's just watch this for a second here.
To the home side, Mission Black Ice. But can the youthful enthusiasm of the...
And we both know D Martino pretty well, and I doubt he was saying, hey, good luck, buddy, Max. Hope you have a great game out here.
Yeah, definitely not coming out of PJ's mouth. You know, Max is kind of like a younger brother to him as well. I mean, he lived with
them, right?
Yeah, he lived with them for college, and they know how determined and you know, he's kind of a not a mean type of player, but he's a feisty guy, and he wants one prize, right? And that's the championship. So I'm sure he's not saying good luck.
Yeah, if I had a guess here, I'm sure PJ's telling him, you know, you don't have a chance here, Max. You know, keep your head up, you know. And
Yeah.
Max probably just smile with that missing tooth smile, whatever, at him or whatever. But deep down, he's going, oh, Dad, I got to deal with this bulldog all game.
Yep, exactly.
You know? So let's get this game started here. So opening face-offs, we're talking about how important face-offs are here. Let's watch the opening draw here.
Of the Tour Roadrunners, the motivation to prove that they are here. They are not the future anymore. They are the present. Can that come through? Battle of the Di Martino brothers. Storylines galore. We don't know what the result's going to be, but we do know it's going to be an amazing hockey game. Puck is down and we're underway. 20K on the line. Kafuku into his offensive zone. Now he curls back. Pass over to Kozlo. Kozlo or Pascali. Played 4 years of Division III ice hockey at SUNY Potsdam. To Kafuku. Rink wide to Di Martino. The Bohemia, New York.
So let's stop this here, Greg. So first off, you know, face-off, Black Ice wins the draw here. Kind of surprised Martini didn't start this game. Just, you know, you want to win that first draw. Just get your team going here a little bit. So I'm a little shocked that Martini didn't start it here. But before we get into this little play here on the breakout, you know, 80 seconds went by this game before our Roadrunners touched the puck in this game.
Wow.
We're not going to watch all 80 seconds, but that just shows you the importance of a face-off. 80 seconds, a minute and 20 of this first half to start the game. Black Ice controlled the play purely just for winning a face-off. But let's talk about this little breakout here, Greg. I know you like this little tip play here. Let's watch it here. You can talk it through.
Yeah.
Subtle but effective.
Exactly. Love the play by Cal Kafuku. You know, after the first draw, he you know, did some skating, was patient with the puck, sent it back, they regrouped. And I love that little tap pass over to Cal Kafuku from Billy Pascali on the breakout. You know, he knew, you know, he could sense that he had some wheels going. And it seemed like to me during this game, Tim, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but that east-west pass was there a lot for Black Ice.
Yeah.
So even off that this breakout here, pass over to PJ, that seam was wide open. No one was on him, and it was weird because all the Roadrunners were really back on D. So there was a lot of gap there. And PJ Di Martino had some space to move in and maybe get a shot, but he kept control of the puck and kept it smart.
Yeah, when you look at this screen here, and I'll stop this a few times during the game, what I've noticed is the Roadrunners get very puck focused, and they don't really pick up men well away from the puck.
Mm-hmm.
And you get away with it against certain teams, but Black Ice is so good at spreading the puck around and opening up for each other and moving without the puck that it's just not a great matchup for that kind of defense here. So to see he's wide open here, PJ. And what I love what PJ did here too, he could have tried to take, I don't know if this is Mueller here, who this is, but he could have tried to take someone here, but instead he doesn't really have something there. So he just plays it around. Actually, it was Max there, and he just plays it around simply, and they reset it. You know, we'll fight another day here. Like, let's not force it. Let's not try to do something we're not supposed to be doing here. Let's take it easy. It's the more mature way to do it. They settle it back, and like I said, they have a chance to fight on another play here. And let's forward here a little bit to a chance where they actually get to do that.
PJ Di Martino. Last time they played in a championship against each other, him and his brother Joey D, it was Joey D winning at Tours. What will happen here on the biggest stage?
I know nothing really came out of this, Greg, but I know you like the play by Bennett here, just at least trying to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And break up this breakout and make it not so easy for black ice.
Yeah. I mean, I like the forecheck. I like the read by him there. Obviously with a little help, I think that might be Del Morte behind him. I'm not sure what their game plan was defensively exactly, but he caused a little chaos, made PJ, fight through some branches there, and made it a little tougher on him. But I did like that read by him.
Yeah, we talk a lot about PJ D Martino, and I like the defense coming up from PJ here. And 55 to me is the best all-around player on both these teams, and let's watch him on the other end.
Guys play against each other all the time. There's no feeling out process. They're used to seeing each other, whether it be at the rinks in New York or whether it be in PAMA Pro, and now they're playing for 20K. Here comes Ricciardi. He's knocked down by PJ D Martino. Tiefenworth.
So he's like that little play there by PJ on Ricciardi there, Greg. Ricciardi thinks he's got some room. And against some teams, you may think, all right, I got some room here. But black ice is so good at getting to the puck.
Yeah.
And they're so good on one-on-one battles. So PJ here just angles him out. Maybe he's a little bit of a hook here early in the game, but takes him out right away, bangs him off. And black ice recovers here. And it's just another great play by D Martino on the defensive side.
Yeah, it's such a great play. The original play in the defensive zone, he actually forced them to go back, and then they regrouped, and PJ made another great play defensively there. So, yeah, awesome play.
Area.
Like you
Now
said,
the Tides
such a great player both ways.
in the Tampa Bay area. Matt Gerger, his brother, walks down the middle of the rink. Long-range shot. It's blocked, and it comes to Matt Gerger.
Well, just a little subtle play by Tyler Kraft here, Greg. I love this play here, and a lot of guys probably didn't notice this here, but Matt Gerger gets his shot blocked. It goes to Crafty.
Yep.
And watch this little – if he's got a little soccer in his background, Kraft, but watch this little kick play he makes, so subtle, right back to him here. Is that a little kick, Greg?
Yeah, I don't know if it was just a rebound off the skate or
No, you can see he lifts his foot up here to actually kick it. You watch it. See it? He lifted it up and did a little back kick there over to Gerger, and then they reset it again. So, again, just simple play by black ice, wanting to control the puck, controlling the play here, and great play there. I'm just let it roll a little bit.
Keith Johnson. So it might be good and bad because they know how good he is, but they also know how good he is. So that might have them clinching their sticks a little hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that black ice is going to play a total possession game, even though if they wanted to, they can run and gun with these guys. But I think you're playing a dangerous game because I think, I hate to say this, but I'm a very honest guy. I think the advantage goes to the Roadrunners in goaltending.
Healy to the near side. Matt Gerger shoots and speak up.
So there's an example we talked about earlier, Greg. So let's watch it again here. Coming down with the puck here. I think it's Kafuku.
John Healy.
Oh, John Healy with the puck, sorry. And watch the rover. You can see right off that bat there, all three guys are looking at the puck. And Matt Gerger does a great job of just stopping and getting himself in position to shoot here. But look, again, you see all three Roadrunners. There's a seam there. And, I don't think Keith Johnson, I don't think he wanted to be, I think Matt Gerger, who's a great shooter, I think he probably wanted this shot back. I think he put in the easiest spot for Keith to save this, right middle of the net, probably medium speed. He didn't get all of it at all. But just a great pass there by Healy. And again, porous defense by the Roadrunners.
Yeah, that seam was there again. That east-west pass. Those lanes are wide open, and love the play by Gerger there, right? Just kind of delaying, slowing down, knowing that the D-man was still backing up into the, the defensive zone to the goalie. And just that quick little play by him and just give an option for Healy. What a nice pass.
Oh, for sure here. And let's watch this next play here. It's kind of a similar again.
$20K, and even if it's $3,000 per person, that might be more money than they've earned their whole lives.
That's definitely not going to be $3,000 per person. They got a 13-person roster plus a goaltender plus VOs.
So Greg, again here, it's again the same exact play pretty much. And now this time Kafuku, he's got it here. And again, I love by the play by 55, PJ D Martino. A lot of guys would just follow really hard and wind up getting in his own man's way there, but instead he pulls up But look at the Roadrunners. Now you have 4 men, and I know I have a big screen here, so it's easier for me to see. Some people at home might be watching on their phone or smaller. But you could see here that all 4 Roadrunners' eyes are on the puck.
Yeah.
No one's picking up a man. PJ holds up here, and look, little simple play. Billy Pascali goes hard to the net here, which is going to open it up a little bit, right to PJ. And, you know, his brother comes over, makes a nice play because PJ actually wanted to hit Billy Pascali down low here. And Joey D makes a nice play there, blocks it. But PJ aggressive, gets to it, and, you know, has the puck there. So great play, again, by Black Ice, and not the best defense. And you're going to watch Kozlov come in here, and he just misses the net. It could have been a 1-0 goal right away.
I get it. There'll definitely be some good money no matter what.
Kozlov, right side, wrist shot. That one goes over.
Sends
top
him the other way, though.
When you're playing Black Ice, it's the one
Roadrunner's
thing-
got a man behind the defense. They try to get it there,
wow.
knocked it in midair by Kafuku.
Wow, Cal.
That might have just saved a goal. D Martino dancing into the zone. That one's not doing
No
it. It's
way!
back in front. He scores!
So there's so much to talk about in this short amount of time here, Greg. So I'm going to rewind a little bit here. You know, it starts out first here. You know, like we talk about PJ Strong on the puck, gets it back. They reset it again. And look, here again, everyone's looking at PJ. 4 men, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 men, all looking at the puck. Kozlov comes in late. PJ, great pass, finds Kozlov. Kozlov misses the net, which this is a deadly play sometimes for your team when you miss the net, Greg, as you know, as a D-man coming in late. Misses the net. Roadrunners have a chance here now. They come the other way. I can't tell who was making that pass there, Greg. Do you know who was making that pass?
I can't tell at the moment, but
It's hard to tell who it was. I'm not sure if it's Acosta, but they got a chance for a break here. And Cal Kafuku, it's close to a high stick, but watch this play by Cal. I remember watching this live, Greg. Not an easy play. I mean, knocks it right out of the air, goes right to Billy Pascali, and now you're like, oh, shit, if you're the Roadrunners. Puck the other way to PJ, and this play by PJ falls down, stays with it, and that's a heartbreaker.
what a goal. I mean, just to stay with it like that, you know, he fell and just kind of shoved it in. But that play by Cal Kafuku, man, I mean, that could easily been a breakaway and a 1-0 game for the Roadrunners. But they, an awesome play, you know, Cal, that stick, man. I couldn't tell if it was a high stick or not, but I assume not. And for PJ D Martino to stay with this puck, you know, just an awesome play, all around play, and just Keith Johnson wasn't expecting that for sure.
You see right here, this is brother on brother here.
Yeah.
So Joey does a pretty good play, stays with him. Puck gets through a little bit. PJ falls. Now right here, Christian Acosta, you know, young player in the division, he has it here. Little soft on the play, I feel here a little bit. Should have came away with this puck. Doesn't. PJ knocks it off his stick, and then he gets up and just fires it through the legs of Keith Johnson. And Greg, I mentioned this to the other day. I know it wasn't the same exact goal, but this reminds me of Barcelona 2 years ago where PJ Di Martino scored that huge goal, started the second half for us, Team USA, and gave us the 1-0 lead where he took a puck, took on men individually, went to the net, and just scored a huge goal for his team. And again, he didn't fall back in Barcelona, but I just feel like this play is a play that 55 makes that very few can. Individual effort and just gets his team pumped up. And that's what we talked about earlier about what PJ brings just physically, mentally, skillfully. That speaks all right there.
Yeah, 100%. Such a huge big time player, big game player. And, you know, he likes to get his guys going, you know, his teammates going, and loves to spark the team. But the puck's like a magnet to that blade, man. I mean, that's just a remarkable play, and the strength he had, you know, from the ground to get that puck back is pretty remarkable. But yeah, such a skillful player, and he does it on both ends of the rink.
Yeah, no, terrific goal. So that's 1-0. So now, you know, we talked about before the game started, like Roadrunners need to have a good start in this game, Greg, just for their own confidence. And then so far to this point, it's been pretty much Black Ice, and now they got the 1-0 lead. So Black Ice is cruising along here right now. They got to feel pretty good about themselves. And let's fast forward here a little bit slightly to another great play here.
Kafuku, left wing side, looking for more. Gets it in front. Pascali backhands it across the middle.
Pascali's idea was to pass there instead of shoot. Roadrunners have to.
Yeah, I agree with George Brown there, Greg. I mean, Billy here getting a little unselfish, trying to get a little bit too tricky here at Black Ice. But again, they come down, find a seam, and I think he thought Gerger was going to the net there, but Gerger peeled off thinking about defense. But that's a play I like to see Billy shoot.
Yeah, Billy's probably the most unselfish player you'll see on the rink. He's always dishing the puck. That's why I think he scores so many goals, is because people always think he's going to pass, you know. Yeah, probably should have shot that one.
And let's talk a little bit, Greg, about the defensive system of Black Ice. I mean, I guess, you know, they like to play a 1-1-2. So let's watch it here, and then you can break it down a little bit what Black Ice does here.
Though, there is another situation you want to keep an eye on. Black Ice does a lot of ragging the puck on the wing and making that rink-wide pass. And if you get two forwards or even a forward up top that is caught puck watching, they're streaking in all alone on the opposite side. So that's got to be something the Roadrunners watch and they're careful of.
Jordan Mueller hanging out behind the Roadrunners net. He feeds it up the left wing side for Jackson.
Right, where was the time of your play there with KJ?
Yeah, right when you started it.
So that was it there. Okay.
Yep.
So we got 2009 there.
Yeah, 04, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, so just watch KJ Tiefenworth here. He's a top guy, 98, coming off the bench. Just kind of pinching them off, sending it back, right? They're going to continue to try to break out. Cuts off another guy here, swinging, releases, goes back to middle. Kraft kind of comes up, and they just don't give him anything. Watch this play here by Black Ice. KJ pushes him. Kraft comes to the middle. Turnover. Everyone's back. No seams there. You know, no options. Nothing. Just kind of breathing all over them.
Yeah, and that's that 1-1-2 for you here. I mean, like you said, you can see KJ here. You can see him up high here. This is him right here. You know, he's going to angle. All it is about angling, right? Greg angles him off. And, you know, Joey D here, the only way to break out of this here, if Joey D moves this puck here, he can find his man here wide. They might be able to break it, but he tries to carry it, and then KJ just angles him off. He's got to set it back, and then they got to do it again. So, yeah, great catch there on that 1-1-2. And Black Ice plays that 1-1-2 probably as better as anyone. And I get the impression that Roadrunners are trying to match that 1-1-2, but they may not be the team to do that against Black Ice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Black Ice seem to be coming out of the zone as a unit, using their speed and kind of catching them, you know, flat-footed. And Black Ice just, when they do it, it seems like they just keep moving their feet. You know, their second guy, he's not just standing there in the middle. He's moving, and then he's going. You know, he's not just standing there flat-footed, then going and trying to get the wheels going right away. That they're continuing to move. So.
Good catch,
Jackson. He'll hurl it over to the right wing boards. Halverson tried to go back and missed it. And Tyler Kraft leads the 3-on-2 the other way. Jackson back checking, making a 3-on-3. Matt Gerger gets it over to Kraft.
See an almost play there again, Greg. And you know, if you rewind it here, this is an example to me a little bit of the intimidation factor, a little bit. Like you see Max here, he goes into the boards here. And I would say 99 out of 100 times, Max controls his puck more. But here he goes in, looks to like whack it back, kind of falls down or whatever. Just a little bit intimidated, I think, with Black Ice, just what they bring to the table a little bit. And it makes Max try to do something he normally wouldn't do. I think Max is usually stronger on that puck, sends him the other way. And then here now, great play. I love how Kraft here, watch him here, Greg, how they're all tight. But watch Kraft. He takes the puck and he gets wide with it, opens it up by doing that. Now he has someone on the wing. Gerger, he looks to go back. I don't know how Kraft misjudged that. I think he should have had that puck, but good scoring chance there. And then watch the Roadrunners the other way. I thought Kraft was a little bit lazy on this back check here. And a good play by the Roadrunners the other way.
Matt Gerger gets it over to Kraft, but that one's out of his reach.
It's a lazy play by Kraft there.
Jackson pokes it up. Halverson throws it to the far side. Mueller's going to take it. Jordan Mueller tried to find Halverson. That one was knocked away. Possible 2-on-1. Mueller on his horse trying to catch Nate Gerger. Backhand feed to the near side. Tiefenworth shoots. Picked up Johnson. And
So another great play there, but let's talk about that play by Jordan Mueller. Great idea here. Great read by Nate Gerger.
Yeah, I mean, Mueller just tried to make something happen, for Roadrunners. They haven't had much action on the offensive zone, if any shots yet. So just trying to get something towards the net. For me, I think he kind of forced it, kind of didn't make the best play. But then Nate Gerger just ate it up, and he's got that long reach, that long stride. He was out. He was off to the races. But you got to give Mueller some credit here for getting back and back checking there, because he was all over Nate Gerger on the back check.
Yeah, maybe even the man that Mueller's passing to there, maybe he could do a better job getting somewhere else, knowing that he's not in the best spot to get that puck, because they do have an odd man chance quick, and these are the kind of plays that Black Ice is making on them all day long right now. But I like the idea of Mueller. He was seeing it. Right idea, just a tough play to make, and especially Nate Gerger right there with that long reach. And once again, they got a chance the other way, Black Ice. Cal Kafuku, great shot there. I love how Cal just put a low, hard shot on goal. Actually, was that even Cal? That might have been KJ.
Yeah, it was KJ T-Boy.
Yeah, KJ with the shot there. I like that shot by KJ. Good, hard, low shot. And then Keith Johnson's there for the save.
Yep.
Here we got another chance here. This is probably the best chance for the Roadrunners here, Greg. So let's watch Max Halverson here.
Gets the loose puck. Max Halverson into his offensive zone, down the middle of the rink, looking, shooting. It's blocked. And then taken by Help.
Didn't really catch it there, Greg, but he nipped the post on that shot there by Max. That's what
Still
I like about Max.
Still not a shot on net yet, though.
No, it doesn't count as a shot on goal, but it was really close. Max is great is where he slows down, he cuts to the middle, guys back off him a little bit. He's got that sneaky wrister. And if that goes in, Greg, and that makes it 1-1, the score, I don't know why it's still 0-0 up. There should be 1-0 Black Ice. But if that score goes in and it's 1-1, that may change the entire complexion of this game.
Yeah, it would have been a huge goal. Chinny hasn't really been tested, in this game just yet. So for him not seeing shots, it's always tough. And then to finally get a shot through a screen, those are always difficult. So I like the way Max Halverson was thinking there. I've seen him do it many a times. And I just like the play all around. Just great play. And again, if he scores that goal, it's a whole different ball game. Maybe gets the Roadrunners going a little bit. But Max Halverson won the battle before that. Won the race to the puck. One of the only battles they won all game. I mean, realistically, right? I mean, Black Ice seemed to be swarming each loose puck. But yeah, Roadrunners did a good job at winning that battle.
All right, let's go here. Let's watch this play here the other way.
It's tail end of a shift. He's catching his breath right now, just standing behind the net. Now he feeds Joey D Martino. Look at the wheels on Joey D. He gets pinned up against the boards, though, by Pascali. They get it to Kafuku. Shot, that one go.
So talk about Pascali here, Greg. You talk about him being unselfish before, but he's definitely, in my eyes, if not the best two-way player in the game, definitely in the conversation for that. He's definitely one of the best. And here, Joey Di Martino, no slouch with the puck, very fast. But again, big brother, little brother. Billy knows Joey. He can match him speed for speed. And, Joey's going to be stifled a little bit in this game because they're going to mark him. And this is the kind of game where Joey, unfortunately, has got to move the puck more and rely on other people because they're all over him. And here's a great play by Billy. Chance the other way now. Nice little subtle pass of Cal. Another great shot there. Just missed the net, though.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen Joey Di Martino drop that puck to the boards, to the guy over there on the boards. Just because, I mean, it's a tough play, and obviously he knows Billy Pascali is a very good player, and I just think he should have been a little more cautious.
Probably one play they're going to want to make all the time is to double Joey Di Martino before he can get rid of the puck or beat a whole team.
Kafuku to Pascali. Long-range shot. That one goes wide of the net.
Just another quick example there, Greg, of that seam pass by Black Ice, and the Roadrunners just aren't adjusting to it. Again, you see three men here looking at the puck. And Cal Kafuku, again, finds a man here, late coming in, and good quick shot there by Pascal, just missed the net. But the Roadrunners, again, too easy here. Three men on one, men coming in late. They got to do a better job of picking up men.
Yeah, totally. That seam's been there all game. There's guys back there's no reason for them not to step up a little bit and close some gap.
They're playing against the big brother
Great play by
of the
Kozlov.
Black Ice. No pun intended there. But they deserve to be here. They've had a great tournament. Other Kraft tells PJ to slow things down. Kraft skates around the back of the net and then gets the puck on his tape. Into the zone. Kraft shoots. That one's blocked. And Luke Corso grabs it. Fires it in behind the goal. Ricciardi. Pass up the far wing. Here comes Joey D Martino. Moves to the outside. Puts on the brakes at the half wall. Throws it to the left point. This one's fired back by Delamorte to Ricciardi.
Would I be
So a little control here by the Roadrunners. They're starting to control the puck a little bit more. And we're going to watch a great rush here by the Roadrunners. And, it's funny, the last 2 weeks, we've basically been, all we've talked about is Delamorte the last 2 weeks, Greg. And this next play, which is a great play by Nick, this might be the only time I remember him being involved in a play this entire game, which was a big part for the Roadrunners, is he's one of the big three right now for them, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great play here. Let's watch this one, then we'll talk about Delamorte for a second.
Wrapping it around the back of the goal. Ricciardi settles down a rolling puck, skates up the wall, gets it up ahead. Nice one-touch pass by Delamorte. Blake Bennett for Delamorte. Far side, goes back to near. Joey D shoots, and then it goes off the side of the net.
the side of the net? They thought it was in.
So Roadrunners almost saw Joey D quick there, and it actually almost looked like it went in there on the replay, but hit the side of the net.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Delamorte on this play. He makes two great plays on this breakout, so I'll let you break it down here, Greg.
Yeah. So I love the little tap pass he makes here on their breakout. Little bang, bang. He sees the D-man stepping, keeps going, gets that puck. See, for me, he got that pass through. And honestly, still not a shot on net for the Roadrunners, right? I mean, that went wide, so that doesn't even count as a shot on net. But Delamorte is a shooter. He's in that slot. He's in the hash marks. I want to see him fire in that puck instead of trying to thread that needle. But all in all, still, again, nice pass and nice little chance for the Roadrunners there.
Yeah, maybe he's worried about PJ, who's a great shot blocker, blocking it. But yeah, that's a great pass by Joey D. And, Joey D's got to score there. He's got the open side there for sure as a lefty coming across, Chinny's wide open.
Yep.
Again, another example of they bury this, the game changes. You can see how excited Delamorte was after he thought it went in. It stopped for a second there, but they didn't. But honestly, like I mentioned, I watched this game 2 times today, and here's the third time. And this is the only time I really remember Nick being involved in this play, which is it's a big step for him this year, this division. He's been getting better and better every year. He's obviously a great player. 3 games in one day. He's a tough team to play against, but I need to see Delamorte more involved in this game if the Roadrunners are going to have a chance to win. You agree?
I do agree there, yeah. Again, we did mention it earlier in the podcast, key players for the Roadrunners, and he's one of them. And for them to win, he needs to really step up and play his game.
We're going to fast forward here a little bit of time here. And we're going to talk about, Matt Gerger, who, I think he's been pretty quiet the last couple years maybe in this division for them. Back in the day, I always look at Matt. I'd put him in that category with the Kraft and the PJ and the Billy Pascali went up. He's been kind of quiet to me the last couple of years, and we've talked a lot more about his brother lately than him. But this game I thought was maybe Matt's best game of the tournament for him. He stepped it up in this game, and we're going to see a good play by him because I think Matt, when you watch him play sometimes with his Inferno group, he does a lot more because he has to, but he almost, I think, defers a little bit much with this team, which it works for Black Ice, so I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
But I know he's got a lot more to give, and I think this is a great play by 26 here. Coming off the bench, it's always a surprise when you're coming down with the puck, and then suddenly a guy jumps off the bench on you. You didn't see him coming, but watch this defensive play the other way here, and you're going to see Gerger jump off the bench, luckily here, and get the puck.
Now, trust me, it's going to heat up. But right now, Black Ice is content with a boring game. Shot on Johnson, he makes the save. They're leading in shot 7-1. They lead 1-0. Roadrunners haven't really got a sniff.
Oh, wow. That was a change. I didn't know if it was the too many men, but
See him coming off. Kraft kind of made a bad play there. He forced it back and put his player in a bad position here, which is unusual for Kraft, especially with 3 guys. He could have turned it the other way, which he normally would with the puck. Went back on a bouncing puck. Nice little tip there. But Gerger coming off the bench for D Martino, luckily there, makes a good play. And Gerger's had a hell of a game.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome play. I think the Roadrunners are kind of stunned and probably were looking for too many men on the rink. But if you do the math, there was only 4 out there. And, again, there's another example of Black Ice winning another battle, right? Kraft, obviously it wasn't the best play, best pass in the world, but he still won that loose puck battle and got control for his team.
A mistake for the Roadrunners, man.
And that's what the teams that have lost to the Roadrunners today have done. Has made mistakes at costly times. Tiefenworth shot, Johnson the save, and he hangs on.
So there's another example there, Greg. Just too much openings for, as a player, I think we both agree. You love when you have time and space, and a good defensive team takes away time and space. And I think the Roadrunners aren't doing that in the first half. So here's a great little play. It's KJ. I mean, look how open KJ is. KJ's eyes got to be wide open here, seeing how much room he has. He makes a great pass down low to Gerger. And again, Matt Gerger, I love the little subtle play right back to KJ for a quick shot. And KJ puts it right into Johnson. But it's a great play by Black Ice, keeping it simple.
Yep, kept it simple. Pat, those lanes are there. And I love the quick shot from the Gerger feed and that shot from KJ Tiefenworth.
We're going to see another breakout here coming up from Black Ice, and finished with a nice play by Gerger to Kafuku, which I'm going to argue that this may be one of the prettiest goals I've ever seen in a PAMA Pro final. But let's just watch it here first live.
Golly played D3 ice. Most of them have played ice of some sort, but these are roller guys, roller daddies, you could say.
Roller dad.
Here comes Matt Gerger. Sends one to the farther net. Kafuku redirects it top shelf, 2-0 Black Ice.
Oh, I got to rewind that live again here, Greg, just for everyone to watch that again.
Gerger sends one to the farther net. Kafuku redirects it top shelf, 2-0 Black Ice.
Oh, that's the second time in 2 goals now. Cal Kafuku has shown hands, Greg. The first time knocking a puck out of the air, which very few guys would have made that play and enabled PJ D Martino to score. He didn't get an assist on that first goal, but he was obviously a big part of it. But here's one, too, now. You see him going to the net here, Greg, and he's got to stick out. He wants one of those typical tips in front of him. Let me rewind that drop here. You can see it sticks out ahead of him here. So Gerger actually puts it behind him a little bit here. And Kyle just makes an unbelievable adjustment here. Puts a stick back behind himself there and angles it, tips it up. And when you're playing a hot goalie like Keith Johnson, those are the kind of goals you need going to the net. And just a gorgeous goal. And I'm sure, I know you weren't there live like I was watching this, and the crowd went nuts. But you got to be pretty impressed with that goal.
Yeah, it was an unreal play all around. Gerger kind of sidestepped and pushed the puck past one of the Bennett brothers there, which is a good play. I mean, I don't mind Bennett stepping like that if you want to rewind a little bit, just because the numbers were there. I mean, it was still a 2-on-2. So for him to kind of force the play there, yeah, right there. For him to kind of force the play, knowing that he's got guys back. I think that's a great play defensively, but I think Joey Di Martino kind of fell asleep there, and Cal Kafuku took advantage of his napping.
You talk about the difference between the Roadrunners and Black Ice. You have to assume if a man on the Roadrunners went around the man like right here and tipped the puck that far ahead of him, there'd be a Black Ice guy there to take that puck away. Roadrunners a little backed off. Look how far back they are here a little bit. Gave him a lot of room. And again, not playing their best defensive hockey here. And again, I think it's just they're not being as aggressive as they normally are, like they were against Envious Rink Rat in the second half, like they were against the Mudcats, like they were against the Snipers when we played them to get them into the playoffs. They came out like, we don't give a hell. We're going to go out and just go hard. I feel like in this Black Ice game, they're not really doing that. They're just kind of just playing. And they're not playing with that same fire that they normally play with. Maybe they're just tired. Maybe they're just excited to be here. They're caught up in the moment. Maybe they're a little intimidated by the big brother thing. I don't know. But this first half, it's not the Roadrunner team I've come to expect to watch here.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree there. And, for me, if I'm them, I don't know if I play a 1-1-2. I think they're smart enough. They're fast enough to play a man-on-man against Black Ice. I think there's some flaws in their 1-1-2 here against the Black Ice. So I don't know. Definitely going into the second period, I'd like to see them going man on man just to get something going. They're kind of just sitting back, letting Black Ice do whatever they want with the puck. and just kind of get the control factor going for Black Ice, and they're just kind of giving them lanes, giving them everything, control. So I think for them, they maybe should have went man on man, and definitely go into the second period for sure.
No, I would agree with that. All right, let's keep going here. Next play here.
Halfway through. He's got a bright ice hockey future. I don't know how good he is at roller. PJ over to the near side for Pascali. That one missed. Puck comes out to.
So that was another example here, Greg, just of the puck watching,
Yeah.
And I'm sure Coach Vio, I'm sure at halftime here he reamed into these guys about this, but let's watch it again here. Look how open. And then open back, there's guys open there. So Roadrunners just are not playing their best defensive game here. I've seen a lot better from them defensively.
Yeah, for sure. Who knows? I mean, they might be relying on Keith a little too much now. He's been hot lately. Thinking, oh, you know what? We got Keith back there. He's playing stellar. We could maybe take a couple chances. But I think they're kind of relying on him a little too much right now.
Honestly, it looks like Black Ice is toying with them at the moment.
You got both Bennett brothers on together here, it looks like.
Pascali. And it's got Nate Gerger going to the net. Pascali keeps it.
Oh,
now
no.
fires it out to PJ. He shoots. That one might have hit Nate Gerger in front.
Just another unbelievable play there,
Yeah.
Billy Pascali showing terrific patience here. Let's watch him here, Greg. Goes in deep. Look like he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. No, I'm going to hold. And here comes PJ late. Again, Roadrunners are sleeping. And I don't know if that hit Gerger in front of Johnson made the save, but easily that could have been another goal right there.
Easily, And again, we've seen Billy Pascali do that time and time again. He's so smart. He's got that shifty little play that goes to his backhand, and that trailer is just wide open. It looked like two guys went to the puck there. Joey D Martino kind of went down and tried to block a pass or a shot, and Max Halverson seemed to kind of help him out there, and it seemed like that trailer was just wide open there.
And here we're getting to 15 seconds left in the half, and Keith Johnson's got to come up big again at the end of the half here. Let's watch it.
Shane Bennett picks off a puck behind the net, pinned up against the wall. Puck goes up the boards, and Nate Gerger in transition.
Oh, man.
Now to Pascali. He's dancing, beautiful move. And in a forehand shot, Johnson the save. It's loose in front. Nate Gerger's jamming at it, and Johnson sprawling makes the stop.
I mean, that's really unacceptable at the end of a half, Greg, in a championship game, right? You can see Roadrunners just being lazy. They're just waiting for the half to end. It's almost like, they want it to be over. They're just not playing with the fire. And Billy, great move there. Who's that? He smokes there on the side there. I don't know if that's Riccardi. Just cuts in there. Great play. And then here, how about this here? Late Gerger coming in. I mean, that never should happen. Roadrunners just lucky to get out of this half.
Yeah. They're on the ropes right now. Best thing that could have happened was that period to end. Just to kind of redeem themselves, talk about the period, and try to get better, because that definitely wasn't their best showing. That might have been their worst period of the whole tournament.
Yeah, no, for sure. So if you're a Coach Vio, I mean, what are you saying to your team at the end of this year?
Like I said earlier, I'd say, guys, let's relax now. It's only 2-0, thankfully. It's a long period. Let's play man on man now. This 1-1-2 is not working. We're not winning any battles. We're just letting them skate by us. They're setting the pace. They're setting the tone. We're not getting anything out of anything right now. We got to switch it up and maybe step up and close some gaps and play some man on man. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm telling my team right now is, guys, we played a terrible half, and it's only 2-0.
Exactly.
We've been down before. We were down against Rinkrat Envious 3-1 with a minute left in the game, or a minute 20 left in the game, and we came back and won. Like, we're better than this, and we're only down 2. So let's go. Let's wake up. We're in the championship, guys. I mean, we're in the championship right
Play with a
now.
little fire.
Yeah, I mean, let's go out swinging. Like, screw these guys, So I'd be all – this is where you almost want to go back to the locker room at halftime like it was last year at State Wars, Greg. Remember I came in throwing the garbage cans at you guys and kind of just went nuts?
Yeah.
I think you need that moment as a coach. And I know Vio's not really that guy to go crazy. But, on the bench there, it's a little tough. I think this is when you want to be in the locker room. You want to go nuts. You want to scream at the guys. Because right now, all the energy's out of the building and Black Ice is just controlling everything. And, you know, you got nothing to lose. You're down. Who cares? No one's expecting you necessarily to win this game except for the Roadrunner fans. So you got nothing to lose. Let's go out and play. You guys aren't playing right now. You know, you're playing scared. You know, like you said, we're relying on Keith too much. Let's go out and go for it. Screw these guys. That's kind of my message.
Yeah, totally agree there. And again, play with some fire, right? I don't see any fire under anyone's skates. You know, everyone just kind of puck watching, just waiting for someone else to step up and start sparking the team. But got to tighten up the gaps. I mean, they're letting Black Ice just do whatever they want with the puck. You know, they got a string on the puck. They're setting the pace, doing whatever they want out there, and Roadrunners really need to step up and just close gaps.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree 100% there. And I know we got Aaron Weiss, Greg. He got on a little early, so he's there. So I guess we'll bring him on and let him watch the second half with us live here, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring Aaron in here. So bringing Aaron Weiss, Mission Black Ice, going to join us here for the second half. As soon as he gets in here, I see he's got the trophy with him here. That's not easy to come by, that trophy. So pretty excited to have Aaron join us here. Let's get Aaron out here. There he is. What's going on, Aaron?
Looks like your audio is still connecting.
Can you hear me, Aaron?
Am I in?
You good?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, boys?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
I feel like I'm watching a Breaking Bad episode here. Are you in the chemistry lab there right now at school? Where are you right now?
But I'm in my own little classroom here. I'm just brought this in. I know you guys are busy. Just getting ready for you guys to put on the new plate right here.
Okay.
Looking shiny. It looks like you guys are, keeping that thing nice.
Yeah, I get my son, Brody. He shines it like once a week now. He wants to be part of the team.
Throw him a nickel, right?
But yeah, shiny nickel, of course. Hold on 1 sec. I'm actually shutting you guys off over here. I had you guys on the side. I caught the last 5 minutes of the half with you guys. So it's so funny because what you guys were both saying, I totally agree. If I was Vio, switch to man because he was kind of making it too easy for us at that point. I mean, our guys showed so much patience at that time, and we would just control the game. And in a championship game, any game in pro, no lead is safe. But I really felt confident because it's 2-0, but they're not touching the puck. If you listen to that game, you don't hear Vito's players' names like ever called. It's always one of our guys because we have the puck most of the time.
Right.
You guys won every battle, you know, and when you won the battles, you control the puck. And when they can't touch the puck, they can't score, right? So, I mean, you guys, they just made it really easy for you guys, I think.
No, it was our most complete game of the tournament. And, of course, you want to have it during the championship game. So, just super proud of the guys that, you know, they didn't want extra. They were happy with 2-0 because they had the control. And if a couple more pucks for us fall in, you know, it's 3-0, 4-0. But either way, we never said, okay, listen, we got to get the third one on this, you know, this shift. They just played our game, kept on going back until we saw what we wanted to. And when we saw it, we went for it.
You know, Aaron, you know, I've used this comparison before, and it feels like this was back in 1985. It's so long ago. But the first time you guys won Narch, where you guys knocked us out in that 1-8 game, I remember being in the locker room before the game against you guys, and it was the same kind of thing here, big brother, little brother. You know, you guys were the young guys. A lot of your guys on your team look up to guys like Thompson on our team, or, you know, Derek Kern, who were some of the older, you know, New York guys.
Right.
And I remember telling the guys in the locker room that basically, hey, we're better than these guys, but if we give them the first goal, it's going to be a dogfight all game, and it's going to be tough. If we score the first one, I think it's going to be a 5-0 win, because these guys are going to go all excited. We're going to score a goal, and they're going to go, oh, shit, again. And the energy level and the confidence goes down, where then we pick it up. But, of course, that game we didn't do that. You guys hung around, you score first, and it went the other way. Where in this game, I feel like – what's that?
Who put it? Didn't Kavaya put in one goal for us?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There was a bad bounce or something.
Yeah, knocked off and went in. Thanks for bringing that up. But it's kind of like this game. I feel like if the Roadrunners came out hard and they get the first one, this whole game is different.
Oh,
You know, you guys start going, oh shit, are these guys really for real? And they're going, screw PJ, screw KJ. KJ's 100 years old and Pascali's washed up and Chinny's not that good. You know, they go into whatever they want to psych themselves up. But you guys come out, get the first, not only the first goal, but you control the puck. You take the life out of them, then you score one, and then you score another one, and they got to be going, oh, fuck, you know, how are we going to beat these guys? And it becomes a confidence game, right?
yeah, that's a huge thing, is that us scoring that first goal, because if we put in all that hard work and they, like, you know, Max, Joey comes down, you know, Action comes down and puts one in, all of a sudden our heads might go down a little bit saying, oh, listen, we controlled all this game and now we're down 1-0. How did that happen? And then we change our style and we press a little bit, which just falls into their plans kind of. So it definitely worked out in our favor that, you know, we kept control and we got that first goal.
Totally. It's always huge scoring that first one. I mean, come on, especially in a championship game like that, big rink. You know, you guys play such a control smart game. I mean, scoring that first one's always so helpful. You know, obviously the games are longer, but at the same time, it's momentum and confidence, and it just plays such a huge role scoring that first one.
Oh yeah, and us getting that first goal, what it did is allowed us to roll the lines much easier because every line was going out there controlling the puck. We felt good putting out any 4 players, and it rested us for the whole game. It's not like Billy was pressuring and all of a sudden he has no gas. Not that Billy he always has gas left in the tank, but just saying, like, you know, it's not like we were, you know, done by the first period. We still had a lot left in us.
Yeah. When you're not chasing pucks down all game, you know, chasing the other team gives you guys a lot more energy when you have it, right? You know, you're not working as hard. Obviously, you guys are winning battles, but after that, I mean, controlling the puck and keeping your energy, you know, so just awesome hockey.
Yeah. No.
Talk a second about PJ D Martino, and I know you weren't on the beginning, so I want to show something at the very beginning of the game we talked about here. Let me share this screen here for a second. So right at the beginning here, before the game even starts, you see PJ circling like a shark around Max Alberson here, and he says something to him. And Greg and I both agree, knowing PJ, that he wasn't wishing him luck in that game. So let's talk a little bit about that energy that PJ brings, where, let's face it, I mean, a guy like him, there are times where it could hurt you, where it's too much. And we've seen that. And I'll even tell you a funny story in Barcelona with us where it happened with him. But in a game like this, he's playing against his brother. He's playing against Max, who's like a brother to him, the younger guys. And I'm sure he's so fired up, and he becomes, in my opinion, he was the best player in this game. Let's talk a little bit about that energy he brings.
Oh, well, you guys, I'm sure, saw the game that we played against the Mudcats.
Yes.
And that's where his energy could be negative energy, where it could hurt him. But
yeah,
this game, his energy was perfect. I mean, he was ready to go. I think George alluded to it, that he looked like a forward at one point because, you know, he really wanted to prove that, like, you know, he's the older brother and he's got it. And but his energy, both before the game started, I mean, if you saw him in the locker room, he was ready. He was not ready to pass over the baton to Joey yet. That's the whole thing. He wants to be the best D Martino out there on the rink. He loves his brother to death, okay, but he wanted to be the best one out there, and he wanted to show it that game, and he did. He was just electric the whole game.
Yeah, we had a funny incident in Barcelona where I think Greg, I think it was the first game of the tournament. No, we played Canada the first game, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the second game. Whoever we were playing, and it was a game we should win. It might have been Canada. I gotta go back and look at the score sheet. But, you know, out at World Championships, the referees are notoriously known for calling the game like a soccer match, you know, and you got to mind your P's and Q's. And PJ knows it better than anyone because he was playing out in Europe at that time. And the referee we had in the game, PJ actually made a comment at one point that this guy hates me. He refs the league I'm in and stuff like that. So I can only imagine things that go on during the year with PJ and this guy, because he's probably playing in games where they're blowing out teams and he could act like a lunatic. But PJ had gotten a penalty and this is a while back now, so my memory's tested, but it was a questionable call, but it wasn't a big deal. You get a penalty. All right, go to the box. And the penalty box there at this rink wasn't like a private box. It was just you go out a gate and you basically stand along the boards on the other side. And there's a woman who kind of handles the door, and there's photographers and whatnot. So PJ did something, Greg, where I don't know if he said something to the woman in the box, like cursed at her or slammed he did something with the gate or whatever, where the referee came over to me and basically said, hey, we could throw him out of the tournament right now. Like we're going to throw him out, like, because he's being rude or whatever. I'm giving him one chance, and then I spoke to him and that was it. But like, that was an example to me of how, he gets thrown out of the tournament suddenly, we're in big trouble. Like, we lose a great player, but how he can get fired up so much where it could be a positive or a negative. And in this game, it definitely was a positive.
Yeah, no, he was huge for us. I mean, kind of what you just said. You never know what you're going to get out of PJ when he's fired up, which is most of the time, and even off the rink. And but on the rink, he was focused and he helped us out huge. I mean, I can't say enough about the kid. I mean, he works so hard for every puck. It doesn't make a difference if he's going against his brother or going against, Joey Mule, any of the mules. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. He's going 100%.
Yeah.
We got to remember, there's a lot of rapid fire guys in this game, Greg. And, PJ's been like the sheriff in town at rapid fire. He's the sheriff of Mauritius, right? So these guys all look up to him. They're probably a little afraid of him. And he's not giving them an inch.
No,
and he's not the kind of guy like you go out with your daughter in the driveway, Aaron, you're playing little hoops, you let her score one or whatever. He's not letting little brother score one. Like, he wants to prove it. He's the guy beating his little cousin in checkers that's 5 years old. Like, he's competitive. He wants to win.
I love the way he circled Max, because he told Max that this is his game.
100%.
I can only imagine. I'd like to be a fly on a helmet there and and hear what he said.
And before we get into the second half, let's talk about another player. So you usually have a different 44 on your team who's known more as a pure goal scorer, and John Chavo. Cal Kafuku in this game has shown a lot of different things that he could bring to the table. That first goal knocked the puck out of the air, goal scored the other way. Then that second goal, he made that gorgeous tip. And he's made some pretty good defensive plays also. Let's talk a little bit about just, you pick up a guy for a tournament to fill a hole. And I know Cal, but you don't really know Cal. Like, no one knows a guy until he's on your team. Let's speak of how he fit in and just what a wonderful surprise that was, because without that pickup, you may not win this tournament. So let's talk about him for a second.
All right. In all honesty, we don't win the tournament without Cal. I'm not sure if Jay told you the story, but we're driving State Wars, and that's when we found out that Chavo wasn't going to make it. So we're making phone calls to see who else we can get, because we don't even know who's going to, the numbers game and how many we're going to have. And in the longer games, we want to make sure that we have, Billy breathing by the end of the game and KJ breathing by the end of the game. So we're trying to figure out who we're going to get. And Cal was just the perfect piece for us, because, not only, and I think KJ might have already said this, he became one of the boys right away. We know he's a Border Cat. Don't want to take anything away from the Border Cats or anything like that. But he really, like off the rink, he just fit in like he was playing with us for a couple of years. And KJ told you about, like, he came to the party and hung out with the boys. We're all in a group chat. Cal jumps in, and it's like he's one of us. But I want to talk about him on the rink, because the thing about Cal is that you could put him in a game if you're down one goal and feel comfortable because he's going to get the goal, or you could put him in the game if you're up a goal and you just want somebody who's going to work his butt off and, play great defense. So that's the thing I loved about Cal. I was running the offense, and I never had to look over to the bench and be like, okay, there's 3 minutes left, and I have to figure out, okay, who are my last two lines. I knew I could get Cal out there, no problem, whether, like I said, we were up or while we're down, because he played both ends of the rink the whole tournament.
Yeah. He showed his hand-eye coordination on both ends of the rink.
Yeah.
That play out of the air. Listen, they get that puck through, it's a breakaway, right? It could be a 1-0 game right there.
It's a swing goal basically right there. He doesn't knock that out. They come in on a breakaway, they score, they're up 1-0, and we go back to our conversation up all of a sudden. Their confidence is up. We're saying, crap, we were doing all this work and we're down 1-0, but instead he knocks it out of the air and it starts going the other way.
Yeah. phenomenal play. And then that goal he scored as well. Oh
Yeah.
boy, highlight reel.
Yeah, that was a sweet goal.
All right, we're gonna go right to the second half, and we'll have you join us here as we talk about the second half. So we talked about what's being said before the half. We talked a lot about Vio, what he was saying to wake his team up. What are you guys saying out on the bench going into the second half?
For us, we're just saying, hey, listen, stay with what we're doing now. Okay, we're up 2-0. All right, if we do this again, if we end up 4-0, that's great, because we played the perfect first half. So let's just keep it. We just didn't want anybody to like say, okay, listen, we need more, because realistically, we didn't need more. We just needed the 2 at that point. So just play the way, go back, wait for our moments, and they did. So they really followed the script for the first half into the second half.
And Greg, let's give the Roadrunners some credit too. I mean, these guys are a team that in the quarterfinals against Envious Rink Rat were down by 2 goals with basically a minute left in the game and came back and won the game. And then had a great game with the Mudcats, shut out the Snipers to get into the playoffs. Remember, they were 1-2 going into the last game against the Snipers. They lose that game to the Snipers. They're 1-3 on the tournament, don't even make the playoffs. They come out and, Snipers are definitely a top 5 team in this tournament, and knocked them out as an undefeated team that night. Actually, not knocked them out, but got themselves in and by a win and a shutout. So they're really cruising at this point. They had won, 3 tough games in a row going into this. So, you had a bad half, whatever. But they got to come harder here. And I do believe they gave a much, even though the score doesn't maybe show it necessarily at times, but they, I think, played a better second half than they did in the first. Well, let's start it here. Let's watch a good 2-on-1 by Black Ice.
Gets this one out to center. PJ D Martino turns it over to Max Halverson. Halverson cuts left, shoots. He missed it high. You know whose name we haven't said very much in this game, George?
What's that?
Joey D Martino. Here's PJ. Tiefenworth back to PJ D Martino. Shoots, and Johnson got a glove on it.
So chance the other way. Max Alves, they missed the net, comes back the other way. And I'm sure you've seen that 100 times, Aaron, but just a great 2-on-1 passing by Black Ice here.
Yeah.
I love the way we did our space in this game. I was pretty happy because when we were having a little bad luck for a couple of games, it seemed like our spacing was off and we were going too wide with the puck. This time, our spacing was a lot better. We drove to the net, the best that we've done in a real long time, and I think that made a huge difference in this tournament altogether.
I love the play by KJ Tiefenworth, just winning that battle and dropping that puck back. I think it was to Nate Gerger. And then once he dropped that puck back, he went, he joined the play and, gained the zone for a 2-on-1. And, that's a great play by you guys. Awesome play.
There's still 14 minutes left and it's still only 2-0.
So as dominant as Black Ice has been, they still only lead by 2. Mostly because they've spent a lot of time in their own zone just hanging out. PJ D Martino flying, gets past Joey, shoots. That one is blocked, goes to the corner. Wide open in front. A chance for Schulte. Shoots and scores.
Play of the tournament right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's amazing here, again, we talk about 55. Here's a play that there's only a handful of guys in the whole world that make a play like this. So PJ, end-to-end, goes down, beats his brother wide here a little bit, gets to the net, gets his own rebound. And originally they had PJ with the assist here. We had to make a change here, Aaron, to give Heels the assist actually on this one because he actually tips it. So I think PJ's actually looking for Healy here. Hits off his stick. I don't know if it's by accident or on purpose. I think it's by accident. But it goes right to Schulte, who, let's face it, he's not the big marquee guy on your team. When he comes in and roofs one, it's a good day.
Yes, you definitely do. I mean, Schulte, we know, is a notch pro skills winner. So the guy knows how to bury a puck. So he shows it off there in the final. So it doesn't make a difference if it's pro skills or the championship game. He'll put it in the net.
100%.
Yeah, it's just such a great play by PJ there. Staying strong, getting low, winning that battle, making that pass up front. But when Derek scores, right, it just livens everyone up too, right? I mean, just his emotion. Just look at his face, right? He scored that goal. That was probably his biggest goal in his roller hockey career, right? I mean, would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, for him, he's over the moon right now. His emotions showed on the rink, and the boys are probably just so happy for him and fired up. So that's a huge goal.
Yeah, that's almost worth 2 right there because it just gets the whole team up, ready to go. And now the next shift, our guys are pumped, ready to go. I mean, that gives you 6 minutes of just pure adrenaline out on the rink when he scores a goal.
Totally.
I like that on the snipers, Greg. When you score a goal these days and you put one in, the whole team goes crazy, right? Everyone's going nuts, and usually you score a big one of those big wins for us.
Yeah,
well,
one of those nice backhand ones.
Yeah.
not many of those these days.
So let's talk about, I feel like I've been talking about 55 all day here. I think Eunice is going to have to send me a Christmas card how much we're talking about PJ this game. But let's watch another great play here by PJ, and just too easy.
It's not his normal self. PJ D Martino looks for a fourth, goes across the rink and misses Cal.
Now, he nonchalanted at the end there, Aaron, but that's just too easy. I mean, he's going around guys, and honestly, again, I think that the compete level, a little bit Roadrunners is to be questioned here. It's almost like a pickup game here.
Look at the room that they're giving us here. Like, he's crisscrossing. Now look at that space. You can't give PJ that much space. And look at Cal in front. I mean, I don't know where they are in that shift. And nothing against Theo or his team, but they got lost just once he slid to the side there.
And this is how you know Cal's a goal scorer, Aaron and Greg, because watch him here. He's here screening the goalie at this point, but then he recognizes a 2-on-1 now, and then he gets away and he opens up for a chance to score, where a lot of players, Aaron, even at the pro level, would still stay in front of the goal there and just be in the way. Just shows Cal, that's why he scores goals, knows where to go and what to do without the puck, which is so important.
And you're right. I mean, Cal staying in front, looking for the screen, and then realizing the screen's not going to happen, and rolls off and gets ready for that one-timer.
Yeah, very high hockey IQ.
All right, let's rewind, fast forward here a little bit. And this now talking about Cal Kafuku again. I mentioned earlier how some things he can do away from the puck here. Here's a great defensive play on a back check here. He knocks a puck off Bennett's stick from behind, who doesn't realize he's still coming after him, and turns the puck over. Let's watch this live here.
Trolling. Blake Bennett turns and fires up the rink. Down the right boards. Poked away by Cal Kafuku.
See that subtle play there, guys?
Yeah, it's those little things that Cal brought to the table that, because you guys didn't maybe watch some of our games in the beginning, but he was snake bit in the beginning. I want to say that he hit a couple of posts. So he was doing all that work and not being rewarded for it with any goals on the score sheet. But meanwhile, that's what he brought the whole tournament, even when he wasn't scoring. Little things like that made him a huge part of the team.
You see, Greg, he's got one hand on his stick here, Greg, for that extra reach here. And just all he does is a little subtle tap on the stick from Bennett from behind. And boom, right here, knocks it off his stick. And then Gerger picks it up. And now Black Ice again has control of the puck.
Yeah, such a huge play. And you need those plays and those players, to win that final championship game. And those are the plays that help.
And it's taken by Nate Gerger.
You can tell Blake's frustrated. It was easier for him in games before, and they're not giving him any room. They still only have 2 shots on goal right now.
Pascali finds Kraft in the high slot. Wrist shot goes wide, comes back in front, feeds one on the net, and Johnson.
There's another chance, Aaron, a 3-on-2 for you guys here. So much time and space. And, Crafty, honestly, haven't really called his name much this game. He's kind of quiet this game, which is nice for Black Ice if you could be up 3-0 in a game and not really have much going on with Kraft on the offensive side yet. Speaks to the depth of your team. But here, I love how Kraft misses the net, but follows it up and still gets his own rebound. And Johnson's got to make a tough backhand save on him.
Yeah, no, I mean, Kraft, you guys talked about it. I forget when, but he's the all-time leading scorer, correct? At State Wars, I believe.
Yeah, I believe he's the PAMA Pro all-time leading scorer. I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason. If you look up his stats every year, I mean, he just comes in and he does it quietly. He just plays the perfect game where he controls the puck, and waits for the opportunity. I mean, I know Jason, Jay would take, 10 of him all the time because he knows that he's not going to make a mistake out there. Even if he doesn't pull the trigger sometimes, it's because he wants to keep control of the game. I mean, he plays old school roller dragon hockey, Thompson. He was just not born in the right year for you guys,
Yeah, we could have used them.
Yeah, you guys definitely could have
Like,
used them.
when you're up there watching this game and you see it go 3-0, is that something you expected when you're watching as another team? What did you expect this game to look like?
I think it's kind of expected here in Roadrunners.
Let's talk a little bit, Aaron, about Matt Gerger here. I mentioned earlier before you came on that, he's been kind of quiet the last couple of years, in my opinion, for Matt. In your team, he's just kind of that steady Eddie back there. Doesn't have to be too flashy, where maybe he was on another team, you notice him a lot more, like the Inferno when he plays with them, and he's got to do a lot more offensively. And we've been talking about Nate Gerger a lot the last 2 years on our podcast. But he's just a great play. I thought this was Matt's best game of the tournament for me, watching him. But watch this play here, Aaron, where he just jumps up. And I love how he just takes the puck away. You can see the confidence in him in this game. Jumps up here and boom, it's like, all right, thank you. I'm taking that puck back. I'm gonna give it back to my brother, and we're gonna kill the clock.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to KJ because KJ was talking to me about this before this game, and he said, you know what, we need Gerger to like jump up, and he used the term blow up the plays. And right there is exactly like the definition for what KJ was talking about, blowing up those plays, stepping up and stopping it before it even happens. Because for a while, what we were doing, and Matt was doing a great job. It's not like Matt ever got walked around, but what Matt would do is instead of trying to blow up the play early, Matt would kind of take a step back and let the guy come in on him and just kind of force him outside, but yet they would still have control and we wouldn't have the puck. But this game and this tournament overall, Matt had an amazing tournament, blowing up a lot of plays during it, and then it gave us control more often because of that.
Yeah, without blue lines, right? A lot of roller hockey guys don't really step up as much, just trying to hold lines and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Gerger's done that quite a few times this tournament, from what I've seen. He likes stepping up, and Nate does the same thing. He kind of closes that gap, pinches, and uses that stick, and they go off to the races the other way. But yeah, it's such a great play and smart play by him, and he's got a pretty big reach as well, Matt, and he uses it well.
Yeah, because we had to talk about that at Taurus. We said that we didn't have the puck enough, and everybody was talking about, is it the offense or is it the defense? And we talked about defense needs to stop, just falling back and letting the other team with it, that we got to have better gap control. And once they're by the boards, listen, take your chance and take that puck away. And they really listened because they did it this tournament.
And Greg, as a defender, a lot of times your forwards put you in a bad spot defensively, right?
Yeah.
So it's always tough. Do I jump here? Do I stay back? Who's going to cover for me? And you're the last man on defense. You look bad when there's a goal. A lot of times people look at the defender. And I think it all comes down to confidence. Like I remember, I think it was that year when you guys lost to Rink Rat, Aaron, if memory serves me, I think Matt jumped one time and he got beat, and they scored a big goal for draw. So I think he was hesitant that time. And then when you hesitate against skilled players in the PAMA Pro, you're going to get beat. Well, here I feel like his confidence is just bursting at the seams this game. And he's jumping into plays, making all the right reads, and he's looking like an all-star.
Yeah. You talked about it before when you talked about when he plays with the Inferno and he has to take a different role. And, we joke around with him and be like, we want Inferno Matt every now and then. We want you to be the guy. I mean, a lot of people take a back seat to PJ because, people think offensive defenseman, okay, that's PJ. But you know what? Matt can do that also. So we need to see that from Matt. If we want to continue to win, Matt's going to continue to do that also.
Well, it's very hard. I remember when we were in Slovakia in 2017, Foxy was matched with PJ D Martino on D. And until the playoffs, Fox hadn't even, I don't know if he even had a point in the tournament. But he was just staying back and deferring to PJ. And PJ, I always believe in, you have one roamer on D, and the other guy's got to be back, and Foxy stayed back, at the beginning, so it's who you matched up with a lot too, and being a good team guy. I remember Greg, when Greg was in his prime, Rob Tournament used to joke around with me a little bit at Team USA and I say to Greg, I want Sniper Greg. He would come to us and just be too keep it too simple because he's worried, about so much defensive. I want to see that Sniper Greg where he goes out and dominates the game, where that's kind of like Inferno Matt, those games he really has to take it on. And I think it works well for you guys because if Matt tried to be PJ with you guys, you might have too many guys wanting pucks. And then it's nice when you have guys that are able to just play their role. And that's why you guys have such amazing chemistry in Black Ice.
That's why it's perfect. That's why we have him with Kaz. Kaz never wants the puck. PJ always wants the puck. So
exactly,
they're the perfect line.
Perfect marriage, right?
Yes.
come play their game.
Let me ask you guys something. I don't know if you listened to the game, but how many beers do you think Ryan Perry had?
Oh, yeah, Perry was pretty hammered probably by that point. Yeah, he had a tough loss in the tournament.
Yeah, I'd probably be in the same boat if I'm him too.
Yeah.
I just give him credit for even watching the game,
Yeah.
Speaking of fans, Aaron, what I love here is, when you look at the stands and you think yourself, wow, it's pretty empty there. But I thought the good thing about this arena was because of the pandemic and social distancing, we were able to have people pretty spread out. And there's actually a lot of people at this game, but they're spread out way up high, way low, all around the arena. And the arena people there did a great job marking off seats and whatnot. But we actually had a pretty decent crowd considering all going on. But it was also pretty safe for people to watch, other than everyone on top of each other. Like maybe it could have happened in a different place or a different tournament.
Yeah. Are we going to go back here, Timmy?
Well, in the future, when we go back to Fort Wayne, it's going to be a matter of if we can get this place again. Normally they have a lot going on in the summer with concerts and everything going on. So
Right.
we'll see, in a few years, hopefully, we're not even having this pandemic conversation, obviously. But I would love to at least be able to work it out with them where can you give us a 3-day to just have pro here and then we'll go back to the other place for everything else. I love having pro here. I mean, what were your thoughts of this facility?
I thought the facility was amazing. I thought you guys did a great job with it. How you guys did it with the stands, how each team had their little section for everybody to be at. So it made it easy because usually the guys anyway end up getting together in their little pockets and hang out and talk, with their chew in their mouth, and not the beers this time, but it worked out great. The arena was great. The staff there was great. I love that you got off the rink and you saw the people cleaning the benches. You saw when you get out of the locker room, they kick you out and then they clean the locker rooms. I mean, you made us feel safe, which was huge at that, because you got to remember this months ago where we just got back from Florida a little while ago where it was 10,000 cases a day and everybody's all nervous. We felt as comfortable as we could being away from the families and stuff. I know that my wife, is not thrilled when I'm going away during a pandemic, but I told her that you guys did a good job and you guys made me feel safe. So she was happy with that. So
Your wife's not thrilled when you're going away even in a perfect year, let alone a pandemic.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, especially for the pro teams, right? There's so much space in that building to, stay away from everyone. Everything was so clean. And then, after your game, you leave and you go to the hotel.
Yeah.
And, stay far away from everyone if you really wanted to. So I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, no.
Aaron, I'm biased, obviously, but when Greg and I walked in there day one, and I'm sure you heard this already, there was one 70-plus-year-old man who laid this entire floor down by himself for us, Brian Christie. So shout out to Brian. But when we walked in there the first day, and you come in through that lobby, and you see how beautiful that lobby is coming in, and then this arena and the locker rooms and the way the staff was, I can make an argument that this was the greatest one rink arena that I've ever been in for roller hockey. I thought it was perfect with the brand new floor and the setup there. I couldn't have asked for more, and I definitely hope to be back there because I thought it was a big step up for the sport being there.
Yeah, no, this was one of my favorite places to go. I do enjoy the other rink in Fort Wayne that we played in because that rink, the main rink that you use, you feel like even if there's, let's say, 500 people, that you feel like it's 20,000 because they're all on top of you right there. So that place, and I'm looking forward to St. Louis because that main rink also it's just the perfect fit when the fans are all there. It's perfect. It's
got a perfect feel to it. I love the atmosphere at St. Peter's. Just that.
That arena there is perfect too.
Yeah, the arena is great, and it seems.
Funny, Aaron, you bring up a good point though. I caught myself during the tournament because the first 3 days I basically was at this arena. For pro, I stayed there in like the little bubble there, and Greg was more at the ice house, mainly because he could get out of there or whatever, and whatever. And I kind of stayed for all the pro games and kind of just ran things there. And just made it easier than going back and forth. But I caught myself like, I got to go back to the other place, and it's like, wait a minute, like the other place before we knew about this place was like our favorite arena ever to go to. It's almost like, you're dating Salma Hayek and you meet Minka Kelly or somebody, like, oh, who's this? You know, I got this new one now. Like, it's like, wow, they're both great places. And I caught myself during the tournament, like reminding myself like how amazing the Ice House is, because up until we found this place, I thought that was like the ultimate tournament facility.
Oh.
With the bar there and 3 rinks all in the same building, the atmosphere. And that's the one good thing there. We always were worried about this place. Would we get people to come over to watch the pro games? And, we had to be careful with crowds. The guy at the rink had told us if we promoted this heavily in the city, we could have had 1,000+ Fort Wayne Comet fans every game at the games if we wanted them. But we kind of didn't want to go that route with everything going on. But in the future, if we're there, that could be something we could do to really help, especially with the guy Sludowski, the captain of the Comets, played on Envious Rink Rat in this team. And he's the fan favorite out there. So they said we would have been packed for their games.
I just want to give you a heads up. When we were watching some of the games, every now and then we did see some drunk Comet fans in the crowd. So and we only saw like 2 of them. So if like you get 1,000 of those drunk people, I hope you just hired a little extra security for that.
And there was one game I was sitting there and the guy was just taunting Chad Siebel and the Mudcats. You saw that guy?
That's the game I'm talking about. Oh my God, that guy was great.
Yeah, and if there were certain stereotypes I might have had about what might have been going on, that was the guy. And he was taunting. And I asked Chad later on, who Chad didn't hear it, but all I was thinking, the way the gate was on the benches, that it was like going to be a Mike Milbury moment of Murchison or Siebel chase him into the crowd, or Turnbull. But it was so funny, him taunting the Mudcats whole game.
Oh, that was great.
We had Larry Adegoke and Brian Richford for security, so we're looking good in that department.
We're safe.
Yeah.
Let's just check out another play by KJ here. A nice deflection here, a good pass to Gerger going to the net.
Factor when they come against this Black Ice team.
I would agree with that, because it's almost like they're afraid to make a mistake, right? They don't want to try the things they normally do. Puck comes in front. Johnson makes 2 saves.
And that's
another good play there. Simple play. KJ has the puck. I like how Nate battles through here, keeps going there, uses that reach, deflection on goal. Keith Johnson keeping him in the game here early. Nice play there by Black Ice. Once again, still, controlling the play here. And we're going to watch here another play here coming up. Big save. Sorry, let's put the volume on for that one here. Chinny's been kind of not worked too hard so far, Aaron, which could be tough for a goalie to be sitting there reading a newspaper and then suddenly you have tough chances here. But let's watch this chance by, I think it's Mueller here, from a pass from Jake Corso.
After that first goal, it looked like the game was over almost, basically, because I even mentioned
centering pass, one-time shot, Machinsky to save. The rebound, Luke Corso's denied as well.
I like that play in Greg, but I like watch Mueller here. Mueller's not who when I think of Mueller, I don't think of, Brett Hull or anything as the big goal scorer. But I like watching him here, how he's circling out and he reads the play. You can see him looking at Corso here, and he circles back, finds a little space, and just makes a great little 1-2 there. And gets the puck on net. And that's a big save by Chinny.
Yeah, it's a talented play just because there's a lot of traffic. It's an awesome pass, and to get a shot on net through that, it's pretty. You got to have that strong hand, and he got that shot on net, and great play by Luke Corso as well to follow that up.
Yeah, I want to bring up KJ for a second because, you just showed the 2-on-1 with KJ and him giving that nice pass. KJ and I, we talked before the tournament, and a big thing that we talked about was that when him and Billy were out there together, that I felt that he was letting Billy do a lot of the work, which Billy does, and KJ was floated waiting for that one-timer himself. And I said, KJ, I really want you driving the net this tournament coming up. And the thing is, first game of the tournament against the Inferno, I swear to you, I watched KJ go up and down that rink, charge that net every time, and not get anything out of it. And I almost felt like I disappointed him, that I made a mistake. I'm like, KJ, there's nothing else you could have done. I'm like, you did everything right. You didn't get rewarded for it. I'm like, but don't worry about the next game. And then after the first 2 games, that we were still a little flat after those first 2 games. Jay looked at me, and I don't know if many people know this story. You guys know Jay, of course. Jay, after every game, the sky is falling. He thinks we'll never win another game again. But after that second game where we win 1 game in the shootout and then we lose the second game, he looks at me. He goes, Aaron, please tell me it's over. And I look at him, I go, don't tell anybody, it's over. And I actually said that. And I never wanted to say that, but like after those first 2 games in the tournament, it's kind of, I was just being honest. I'm like, wow, I'm like, even when we're doing the right things, it just seems like it's not, this is not our year. You know, let's pack it up and get ready for next summer. But you guys turned it around.
Sometimes all it's, you talk about momentum in a game, it can be momentum in a tournament. That's why that schedule, like who you play when in the schedule, is such a huge factor, and you get that momentum going here. But, yeah, KJ, he's one of those guys, even if he's not scoring, he does so much off the puck that he's so valuable to a team. And here it is right now. It's 3-0. You guys are dominating, but finally the Roadrunners finally get something going here. And no shock, if it's going to happen, it's going to be the big guns, Joey D and Max Halverson.
Yeah.
Knew about you guys. Not many teams knew about you guys. Knew what to expect from you guys.
Me myself, I felt pretty bad out there. I was a little out of shape, but as a team, it's
Halverson in with a shot. He scores.
That's
Now, it's a great pass when the camera doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
And you're behind the play. But Max resets it here. You can see it's a turnover by, I don't know if it's Cal here. And then Max plays it back here, and then he goes. And that's why, these guys have played a million games together. You can see Joey looking up the ice here right before he even gets it and bangs it off the boards down to Max. And you can catch the end of it here, and he just catches Chinny here quick. And that's a big goal. And Max Halverson's a great goal scorer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aaron.
You kind of read the play right, that once the turnover is there, Max knows Joey so well, Joey knows Max so well, that instead of coming back to reset the play, he's like, you know what, let me take a chance. Let me roll up these boards. And that long pass, lets him go. And Max doesn't need too much room to finish off a play. And he does. And at that point, 3-1 with 10 minutes left, that really could have changed the game.
Yeah, no, totally. And honestly, your defensive players weren't really in the worst spots either.
No.
Obviously that pass was there. There was a little room, but that little room, that's all Max needed, right, to get that shot off. And I think Chinny probably would have wanted that one back as well. I think he was kind of caught off guard. But that was an awesome read by Joey D Martino there, thinking, guys, we're down 3-0, got to get something going. For me to go behind the net right now, might waste a couple more seconds on the clock. Let's get that puck down to Max and get a shot on net. And it's just a great read by them.
Yeah, Chinny had to turn off Netflix real quick. Oh, fuck. And then he missed the puck there. So
It happens.
So let's talk about a face-off here, Greg. Aaron, Greg and I talk a lot about draws a lot here. And, you got Billy Pascali here, who's one of the best face-off guys in the game. He's definitely, in my opinion, a top 10 guy in the game in face-offs, if not better than that. But, Greg, I know you want to talk about the face-off here.
Yeah, this is a big play after a goal, right? I mean, winning that draw, getting control of the puck, it's always clutch after letting up a goal. Because if the Roadrunners, end up winning this draw, they got momentum. It could have been a goal right away. You never know. But winning that draw, I think Healy hopped in there, helped out on the draw, and created a chance for you guys here.
Well, Greg, every Sunday morning playing together, and I take the face-offs, you hear me screaming at the wingers every single draw to help out, right?
Yeah.
And this is what John Healy does here, because you're not going to win most draws clean. And Healy, like you said, jumps in here, beats Max off the draw there to help, fades it back and control the puck here. And I love this play coming up. Let's watch this. I'm going to turn the volume up here. By
the
PJ.
playoffs and didn't finish the game, but we were a couple steps away from a $20,000 game here.
Yeah.
Pascali in. Looks to get another one for Black Ice, but he missed.
See, Aaron, it's so subtle, and I'm sure most of the viewers watching the game don't catch this here, but I love the little pick play here by PJ, which it's always so subtle, and I like to think our sniper team do a lot of this, moving without the puck, and he opens up the whole play for Pascali here on his brother, doesn't take a penalty, does it subtly, and you can see Joey gets interfered with a little bit slightly there, and that little step allows Billy to get a step on him here, and if they wind up scoring there, which they didn't, PJ necessarily wouldn't have an assist on that play, but he should because he made that play happen.
Yeah, my guys, if they're listening to this, I know they know me that I'm going to harp on this. Jay hates hearing me. After every game, before every game, I'm like, guys, listen, you got to go, side to side, look to make room for that, the player with the puck. And when you do it, I'm like, you're going to get rewarded for it. And what I was talking about earlier with KJ going to the net, like all the guys were doing the right things early in the tournament. working on those plays, and early in the tournament we weren't getting rewarded. And even a play like that, even though it's a great play, we don't get rewarded there. Thank God we're up 3-1. If the score right now is 1-1, you know, everybody's putting their head down saying, oh crap, you know, we're doing the right thing and it's not working. But that was a huge play.
Yeah, it would have been a nice
penalty.
goal after giving one up.
None at all.
We told you it wasn't going to be physical.
Right,
Because
right, right.
these guys, that's just not their style, either of them. They're used to getting beat up, not doing it.
See, right there, that's a difference. This little play here is a subtle difference of the Roadrunners and Black Ice in this game. Puck goes back, Roadrunners have control, and the pass they make here, it's a tough pass, and there's no space. Billy steps up here, takes the puck away, and the Roadrunners have no room. They're trying to make that long pass, and it's just not there. Max is better off carrying this puck here. You guys, Aaron, were finding so much space around the rink, and the Roadrunners were puck focus, backing off, whatever. You guys just attacking on all cylinders. And I've said it before, you guys are arguably the best defensive team as far as a foursome, taking away time and space in the middle of the rink. And here's an example of it right there. And there's no room for the Roadrunners.
You know, Billy's game, I mean, I think Billy made it his mission that Joey and Max and their guns really weren't going to really have much room. Early in the game, you probably talked about the play. Billy pinned up Joey against the boards and took the puck away. I mean, whenever one of those guys had it, just kind of like how PJ doesn't want his little brother, you know, doing too much out there, because we had all those skates at Rapid Fire before the tournament, and Joey was out there just wheeling around. I know that Billy was going to make it his mission that, like, listen, Joey is not doing that during this finals, you know, like he's going to earn everything he gets out there.
Tim, rewind that back for me, that last play you had, and they were behind the net. So now, right, Roadrunners are down 3-1. Got to close the gaps, right? Got to close them. So much room there. Joey D Martino's all the way back, giving Cal all that room. He's got to step up, close that gap, and not let him touch the puck, right? Because they're just, again, just kind of like that first period, right? You guys had all the time, had all the space, had all the control, and that's just another example of it. You know, they had to change what they were doing, and didn't seem like they were doing it at all in that second period.
And every time we went back, we had 2 outlets free to go each time. So we didn't mind going back because we knew that we could just take it forward again.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost like the Roadrunners didn't have any urgency here, Aaron. You know, it's almost like they were happy to stay in the game. And if we lose this game 3-1, we had a good effort. We got to the finals. You know, no one expected us to. We gave Black Ice a little bit of a game. And all right, no harm. Second place is still better than everybody else. Instead of saying, screw these guys, we're going to go after it. And here's an example to me with Cal Kafuku of, this is like one of the few plays I saw this game where you saw that the hard part of playing with teammates you don't really know that well. I know even as an old player now with me, when I play with guys that I don't really know, it's so hard. And when everyone's really skilled, it's easier to meld in with each other. But this is an example to me of Cal just not reading the play right with his teammates, and it just becomes just from not being used to playing with one another. Let's just watch it here.
One.
Speaking of the devil, he has the puck now. Enters his offensive zone. Cuts to his right. Spin around
We
pass.
thought Kraft was now Kraft might be the first one there, but Johnson's racing after it there.
If someone,
So there, you know, maybe if it's a border cap player, maybe it's a player he plays with weekly, you know, out of Michigan or whatever. You know, he thinks Kraft is going one way here. Kraft's not thinking the same thing he is. He turns the other way, and it's a little blind pass, you know. But that's just a quick little example to me of just players not really being on the same page just because you guys don't get the practice. He wasn't at those rapid fire skates. He's not skating with you guys all the time. So it's tough when you got to jump out there and make split-second plays with guys you're not used to.
But look, we get the puck right back, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole game.
And Kraft there, for his credit, you know, obviously he could have easily just kept going. But when you're up, you know, 3-1, he's playing smart defensively. He's like, you know what, let's not force something here. I'm getting back and playing some defense because there's no need for it.
Yeah, that's Crafty's game.
Yep.
And I don't mean to not follow rules, but I can tell you this now. Whoever wins this 20 grand, there will be no social distancing.
Matt Gerger, spinorama pass, and that one's blocked.
That's an example there. Matt Gerger maybe forcing the play a little bit much there when not needed here instead of just shooting the puck.
Matt Gerger,
Little no
spinorama
look.
pass, and that one's blocked. Well, they social distance after the tournament.
Yeah,
What do you
No,
think
no,
about that?
that KJ, you
Square now, they're
listen,
distancing away from me.
KJ could score. He's
And
pretty
with the
good at
chance
that.
is Blake Bennett. Save made by Manchin.
So a little chance there for Bennett, but easy save for Chinny there. And, you guys did a great job keeping him to the outside there. Gonna fast forward a little bit here. The next goal. Let's watch this one through.
Those guys are dangerous together, and they do it almost every day.
Yeah, so, but we want to thank our special guest, Ryan Perry, big number 7 from Envious Rink Rat. And you'll be hearing more from Ryan Perry, I'm sure.
Jackson with a shot. It's blocked. Ricciardi couldn't get to it. It's poked up ahead. Odd man rush for Black Ice. Pascali has Kraft going. He goes to the net. Shot. He scores!
And look who Crafty scores. She said earlier he was having a quiet game, yet you know what? His name's always going to be on the score sheet. I love the way that Billy waited for the right time to give the pass. Didn't wait too long. Gave it right at the correct time. Let him go in and score.
Yeah, and you see the example here with Jackson. He comes in, he's got mental over a little bit, throws a weak shot, hits PJ in the foot here. And then Ricciardi here, he kind of makes a bad pinch here. We talked about pinches before with Matt Gerger. This is one he hesitated earlier, wasn't there, and now this is where you back off. You're not going to be PJ D Martino to this puck. And PJ just tips it past him, and they're off to the races here. And like you said, Pascali makes a great little look here, gives Crafty some time, and Crafty just finishes. And yeah, he was quiet most of the game, but you give Kraft a breakaway, and more times than not, he's going to bury, and he did there.
And just another example of Di Martino, right? Not getting on the score sheet, but making an awesome play. That was a one-handed flip there to Pascali off that broken play off his skate. Just kind of flipped it over him, and you guys went off to the races.
Yeah, I love the way Billy gave it at the right time. Billy is famous for taking it. He loves to give it on his backhand later on. But there he said, you know what, Crafty's already in. Let me feed him. Crafty came right in, made a nice move, put it in the right spot.
Yeah, I think most goal scorers, if you ask them, Aaron, they'd rather have the puck like that where they have time to make a play. I think a lot of times guys want to wait and give it to them last second to just shove one in an empty net. But I think if you question most goal scorers, they'd rather have the puck like that where they could make their own time, make their shot, and not have to last second just have to bang one in. And sometimes it's tough that way. It's got to be perfect. But here's another great play here on both ends of the rink, starting with Di Martino with the puck.
And only one here in this championship game. Here comes Nate Gerger. Drop pass for Tiefenworth. Tries a toe drag. It's poked away. Here comes Max Halverson. He doesn't think this game is over yet. He moves in down the right side.
Jason
Max
Miro doesn't
Halverson.
like that play.
Skates around the back of the net. In front for Jake Corso. The shot is blocked.
Martino.
PJ Di Martino just made a blocker save. Kraft into the zone. Wrist shot. It goes well.
So let's rewind that there. We're going to start with, KJ gets a little nonchalant here, Aaron,
Yeah.
And just thinks, it's been easy all game. It's going to go here, and Max makes a great poke check here, pokes it off his stick, says, not today, KJ. Goes the other way. And what I love here, we talk about Di Martino. This is why he's the best player in the game to me. Watch the defensive player, wide open net, reaches out with his stick and just makes a great play. Just another two-way play by Di Martino.
Yeah.
Another great defensive play by PJ. With KJ there, you're up 4-1. You're in the offensive zone with 4 minutes left. That's the time you're going to take your chance. So I don't really fault KJ for that. But then, they come back in on us. They run a good play, and it takes an amazing play by PJ, to keep us from making it a 4-2 game, basically.
Yeah, we discussed, earlier, Kraft getting that pass right away. I would like to see Max move that puck right away as well to the guy cutting. But ultimately, he did make a nice pass to the guy down low. Not sure, I forget who it was now, but you rewinding it, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see him move that puck right away, like right now.
Yeah, to that.
To the torso.
It is a 3-on-2.
Yeah, on his forehand right there.
Right.
And then, it's a lot easier. And then Corso ended up getting that shot back. But, ultimately, it was a great play by Max, good patience. But I would like to see him move that puck a little sooner on his forehand.
Yeah, I agree.
a Conn Smythe in roller hockey.
Max Halverson over to Shane Bennett, one-timer, an excellent save by Machin.
So there's a good chance here for a one-timer. And here's an example, Aaron. I yell at the kids I coach and ice all the time about this. You can see here, I think it's Bennett. Guys have a bad habit a lot of times of their momentum pulling themselves away from the goal. And you can see here, by the time Bennett shoots his puck, he almost crashes into the boards with his momentum. If he puts the brakes on here a little bit,
Right.
if he's shooting that puck from there and going towards the net with it, good chance he scores that goal. It's a wide open net, but it's just an example of a player just putting himself in a tough spot, momentum pulling him backwards. And unless you're Alex Ovechkin, that's a tough chance to score on if you're not having your whole body going into the puck.
Yeah, no, he should be shooting that like kind of at the face-off dot, instead of keep on falling back another 5 feet, like you said. I think they start looking at the play and they lose where they are on the rink. A lot of these guys, and they keep it. They're rolling, getting ready for that one-timer. Before you know, if the pass isn't there at the right time, their ass is hitting, the boards.
Yeah. I mean, he adjusted well, still got a shot on net, and, they're down 4-1, so any shot's a good shot, right? So for him to get the shot on net, it's still a good play.
Yeah, you just want to take advantage of those chances. You don't get many against black guys. You got a wide open net on a 2-on-1. I think, Aaron, what happens a lot is guys want to hide so much.
Yeah.
They need so much space away from everyone where, again, you watch pure goal scorers. I don't care if it's the NHL or roller hockey. If you watch guys, they score their goals from the same spots all the time. And they're in those spots. They get quick releases and they just get pucks off quick. You don't need to worry about being hidden so far. Not too many goals are scored from the boards.
No.
But let's watch here. Here's another good play here. And, a little bit of life here, but another goal here. Let's watch this one.
I forgot their second goal.
This is one more for you guys here.
Oh, us first.
Puck wraps around the boards. Nate Gerger comes away with the puck on the intercept. Pass up to Kafuku, out of his reach, but he's going to get to it. Got Nate Gerger going to the net. Sends it that way. Nate Gerger, backhand shot, it's goal!
Yeah, I got to let you guys in on a little secret. Nate totally screwed up that pass so that it would go back to him in the front of the net. So he's like, we're up 4-1. I want one. So
Right.
he leads them a little too much, those into the corner. And he's like, I'll just drive to the net. It'll get back to me. Nate only told me, didn't tell anybody else. So let's keep that between the three of us, okay?
Yeah, 100%. But you just watch this whole play, Aaron. You can just see this is just, and again, it's only 2:40 left. But watch the play here in the corner. The Roadrunner player here just kind of goes in, half-assed a little bit. Not even back check. You see he's way back there, not even getting back. Puck's off here. And even Joey here. I like to see Joey just attack the puck here. He kind of sits off, allows it through, and just a laid-back approach by the Roadrunners. And I know it's only 2:40 left, but that's just kind of a microcosm to me of the whole game where they just had too much respect for you guys and allowed you guys to have too much room, too much time, too much credit given to you guys. And I think if they could do it all over again, even Martini alluded to last, but this definitely wasn't their game. I think they should have came in like a bunch of junkyard dogs and say, the hell with it. We're going to go after you guys, show you no respect. I don't care if we spend half the game in the box. We're just going to make you guys work. I know you fought us today. Instead, it was almost like, hey, let's have a Friday night skate at rapid fire and just, make it easy. And that's 100% played to your favor.
Yeah, it looked like they were just practicing like a zone defense on us, just trying to keep us like away for a while and, just wait for it. But I would have definitely switched to man on man to come after us. Definitely after the first half, the way the game was played out.
They're no longer in a few years, the Roadrunners are going to be good.
They're here for the long run.
In a few years, the Roadrunners will be good. How often we've heard that?
Yeah, right.
Now it's the Roadrunners are good. When are they going to win that pro championship? A shot from Shane Bennett, and he scores.
There's
Shane with one.
That was the last one there. And we'll forward here to a little bit to the end here and get to see a little bit of the Selly here with you guys.
Black Ice wins their second PAMA Pro championship. 5th straight PAMA Pro final appearance. This one they win. And they are the proud new owners of $20,000.
Let's wait for there's big number 88.
Perfect. Look, it's not a secret. They looked awful early in the tournament, but that means nothing if you turn it on at the right time. It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I'll show you one of my favorite parts here is, we all know Jay Muro, he was very pandemic paranoid and whatnot, but I love how he's the guy that comes out with the mask. You think he's got his mask on, and then it's pulled down, his mouth's wide open, he's hugging everyone there, he's spitting, he's spitting when he's talking or whatever. And so
I think Nate just wiped his belly on him too, so it got weird.
He's the guy working at the deli with one glove on, and he's handling the food with the hand without the glove, and he's handing the money with the glove hand. So, but great win for you guys there. Obviously, 5th straight championship for you guys. I think you guys are now 2-3 in the finals, but just getting there is obviously the tough part. But it had to feel pretty good, Aaron, to close one out.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know what it is? I'm gonna cry a little sour grapes for a little bit. The rink rat game, I don't know if you remember, but we had a goal on us. To this day, I have no clue where the puck went with rink rat, and that was the first goal of the game. And we talk about, the first goal of the game being so huge, and that really changed the momentum. And then obviously the famous kick against the Snipers. Again, nothing you could do about it, but just changing the momentum of the game at that point. And we go in there for this game where we're kind of like, are we snake bit at this point? Are we just always going to be the second best team? But not for that tournament. We really made sure that we were leaving there with that check.
And those losses probably made this one that much better, right?
It doesn't. You guys have won so many championships, and each one is unique to you. Obviously, that 2014 Notch Pro was, amazing for us. But what I really liked about this one here was that, kind of like what I said to Jay, I mean, 2 games in, I was getting ready. I'm like, hey, listen, you think we can start driving home now? And I'm never, ever like that. Like, the guys know me, like, they expect Jay to be negative, but they expect me to kind of be positive. So I'll put on the smiling face to the guys. But after the second game of the tournament, I'm like, wow. I'm like, and that ride home, State Wars is the last tournament. It's the big tournament. And for me as a teacher, now I got about 3 weeks left before I have to go to work. And if I lose State Wars like that again, it would have been the worst 3 weeks, of my life, So to come home, with that check in the back of KJ's big giant van, I mean, hanging out at Healy's rental, it was all worth it then,
Of course.
JP Susko famously said with the Snipers one year that, the beers are a lot colder after a big championship. So, after that win, it changes everything.
Oh, yeah. And we had to drive home with Rowan when you guys beat us that one.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was what we almost threw Rowan out, but
I would have too.
That's Rowan.
Take them up, throw them in the trunk. But,
Yeah.
Aaron, let's talk a little bit just about the division. I mean, you look at these records here. So when the tournament's all said and done, the Roadrunners went 4-3 in the tournament with 2 shootout losses. You guys went 6-1, but 2 of those wins came in shootouts.
Yeah.
So overall, I mean, there were 4 losses between your 2 teams in this tournament, which is unheard of looking at a championship game. Usually you go undefeated, you make the final, whatever. But just shows how tough this tournament is to win, where I don't know, Greg, in any of the years, I have to go back and look, but I don't know if a team has ever gone totally undefeated the whole way through. I know some of our wins, the first year we lost a couple games in the round robin. I know the Mudcats have beaten us a couple times in round robin games. Maybe the one year in Michigan might have been the one year we might have went undefeated. But other than that, I think every year there's been losses involved. Rink Rat, the year they beat you guys, Aaron, they had some losses in the round robin. So it's a tough tournament to win.
Yeah, I think compared to the previous years, from top to bottom, this was the best tournament, like, for teams. Like, there was no, I don't want to pick on teams, but basically I felt there was maybe one team in the tournament that, like, I had a feeling that there's no chance that they were going to win. But there were like 6 teams that I said, you know what, they could win this year. Where in other years, I kind of said, I hope either we win it or there's like 2 other teams. But this year, I did feel like there were a lot of, teams that you kind of put their name in the cap and kind of pull from that. That's going to be the team to win it, or at least play us in the finals.
Yeah, I just feel like the last couple of years, teams are kind of finally realizing what it takes to win, right? A lot of these teams just pick up players just to pick up players because maybe they have a big name or, they're unbelievable offensively or whatever, but that might not be what they need ultimately for their team, right? So I think a lot of the teams now are kind of looking at, you know, a sniper team or a black ice team and saying, wow, like we should maybe start playing and picking up players kind of like they do, you know, start maybe playing a defensive game like those teams and kind of change our systems up and pick the right players. And it's not all about, you know, high end guys. It's about getting, you know, how cliche is this, but the right guys, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of teams are kind of figuring it out now.
Yeah, definitely. When we got to pick up Cal and we didn't have Chavo, he kind of filled the role that we needed. Because in all honesty, don't get me wrong, I think we still do wonderful with both Cal and Chavo.
Yeah.
But as a coach, all of a sudden I'm thinking about, wait, how do I run lines if I have KJ who's a scorer, Cal who's a scorer, Chavo who's a scorer? All of a sudden, I got those guys. I wouldn't want to put any of those guys together.
Yeah.
You know, and then Healy could. I mean, all the guys could score, but trying to make the right matches, it almost worked out in a sense that Cal took Chavo's place so that I could get him, you know, with Kraft and Billy, who I know were going to feed him the puck all the time.
Yeah, and Aaron, it had to be pretty tough. I know, like for us, and we'll talk about the COVID factor, for instance. You know, we knew for over a month that Chris Terry couldn't come. You know, the date switched, and he had a big golf outing that in his hometown that he's a big part of, and he was in a championship golf tournament for the whole year. So he knew he couldn't come once the dates changed. You know, when the dates changed, Matt White had told us, I think it was a little bit of COVID possibly, but it was more he signed with the KHL. He was going overseas. So he had some issues there. But like Charlie Combs, who had a very good tournament of tours, literally the day before the tournament started, you know, he switched to Michigan University for college, and he was told he had to be there that weekend for ice hockey. So we were told, you know, 24 hours notice that he couldn't come. And those are skates you can't fill for us. For you guys, my understanding is you didn't have a lot of heads up with Chavo not coming. So that's got to be put. You know, it's one thing if a guy doesn't want to come, but give us some notice. When he lets you know last second as a coach, that's got to be pretty frustrating and put you in a tough spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were in KJ's van driving. I think we made it to the LIE when we got the text from Chavo saying, sorry, guys, you know, wishing us luck, but he's not going to make it. And, you know, we all respect Chavo for his decision. We wish we would have found out a little bit sooner.
Right.
Again, if we knew other players who couldn't make it because of the pandemic, and listen, everybody has their own situation. I was super lucky that I was able to go. I have give a shout out to my wife, Carrie. Woohoo! You know, my wife, I don't know how she lets me do it, but you know, still after all these years, she lets me be a little kid for a couple of days, you know, and hang out with the guys. So, but if I didn't make it, none of the guys would have, you know, said boo. But if I told them as we were driving, saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not going to make it," you know, it's a different situation. But and like I said,
team in a bad spot.
Yeah, and that's why we're on the phone trying to figure out, okay, who can play now? Maybe we could shift somebody to defense.
Right.
I know if Jay told you, we were going to play Kraft on defense. We were going to look to pick up another forward.
Yeah.
And then shift Crafty on defense. I mean, that's where we were driving there. So you put that together with us playing the way we played the first two games. That's when I finally said to Jay, you know what, it might be over. When we're thinking about putting Crafty on D,
Right.
and we're making phone calls in the van on the way there.
And that's kind of the spot Greg and Greg will tell you, you know, Greg and I are in the middle of, you know, sometimes our sniper guys, God, I love them all, but they forget that we're working.
Yes.
So the phone's ringing nonstop about who are we going to pick up? What are we doing here? We got to get this guy. And, you know, of course, our guys want to grab a guy maybe from another team. And I'm like, well, we're not doing that. And they're just going nuts. And we're just trying to get the floor, you know, the floor was down, but the dasher's up and other things. We're like, guys, we can't deal with this right now. You got to handle it. So our whole team was in a whole rigmarole before the tournament over a last spot pickup. And we didn't have the luxury of having a Cal last second, you know, with us. So it's a tough spot to be in. And, you know, we had an issue with Kabaya before your game, as you know,
Right,
got sick, you know, so, and then COVID, you know, we look at the PAMA factor. You don't have an Ollinger. You don't have a Travis No. Their whole team changes for that. You know, Alkali, not having Archie, not having Bernie, you know. So I really believe that moving forward, 2021 PAMA Pro, I'm going to make a bold statement that I think it's going to be the toughest division to win of all time. because when I look at this division now, Aaron, what I see is you got to revitalize Black Ice now. You guys just came back one after all you went through, which I think is just going to make you guys grow as a team. And I know there's some rumor mills, maybe some guys changing teams, whatever we won't get into today, but you never know how some teams may change up. But I know the Border Cats, from talking to Matt Koleski, they're coming back, and they always are a tough team at State Wars.
Right.
And missing the year was big for them. Our team, I think, has got a lot to come back and prove, having a bad showing for us. And, you add those players back, I think obviously it makes us better.
Let me just cut you off. Think about it. It's a bad showing. You guys played a hell of a game against us. You get a couple of bounces, you're in the finals again. And that's a bad year for you guys. So
yeah, I know. So, thank you for saying that. But yeah, we had for our standards, a tough showing there. I think Envious Rink Rat raised a lot of eyebrows this year by who's this new team, and if they keep it together, they should have beat Roadrunners in that quarterfinal. They blew the game. They imploded there, which I don't think it would happen again to them. But that's a growing process for them. The Roadrunners, obviously, it's gonna be great to see now. They've gotten this far now. How much that gains their confidence moving forward for that team. I think the sky's the limits for those guys. Maybe I think still they're a player or two away, but that's just my opinion.
you didn't bring up the Mudcats, right?
Yeah. Well, Mudcats had their best tournament, I thought, in years this tournament. Now you bring a Brett Leggett back and maybe some guys, but those guys, Joe Cook's group, which now going to be Mars Blade. You bring an Archie back. You bring an Alex Kyle back. I've heard some rumors with some other players maybe involved with their team, possibly. They're going to be a team to watch for sure. They always are. To me, they're always my dark horse, that group.
Right.
And then we're not even, other teams out there, Liberty looked better this year,
Oh yeah.
and Connex, they've always got something to prove. And we've talked about maybe if the Czechs do come over, or the Swedes again with a better group. The Shakers were going to bring a bunch of Czechs over last year. So a lot's going to happen this year. And I just think it's going to be, like I told my guys last year how tough it was going to be for us. I'm looking at 2021 going, especially in St. Louis. I go, this is going to be a tough tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I teach for the winter, and then I try to coach hockey in the summer. I mean, that's my life, and I look forward. Jay and I talk just like you two talk basically every day, and we talk and we talk and we talk and we talk, and then it gets here, and it's July and August, and we're ready to go. And then we both can't believe it. I think we both go through some depression when it's all over with, you know. But I do love that yours is last, because, they saved the best for last with that one. That's one we're all looking forward to. I don't want to call Tours of Notch a warm up, but, it's getting us ready for, for the PAMA Pro.
Aaron, I know you guys added Joglio to your team as well. Who picked him up, and, what was his role on that team, during the tournament?
Well, with him, we were in the car calling up, and we were just getting names of, young players that would be around for the at around the same time. And we found out that he was going to be there because he's a Skittles kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so
California, I guess, in juniors or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the funny story is, I want to say it was our third game in that we found out that he doesn't really play defense. I don't know if where our connections got mixed up, but we thought we were picking up a defenseman, and also like he's going up, a lot more than usual. We would think for a new kid joining a team, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, you know what? I'm used to playing offense. And Jay and I look at each other. We're like, wait, hold on. You play offense? It's like, yeah, I'm an defenseman. And the whole time we thought he was a defenseman that we picked up. So, but we can't thank the kid enough. I mean, we joked around about him a little bit, but I mean, for him to jump in think about it. It's like a young kid coming to the Snipers. I mean, imagine what he's thinking. He's going to a team that's been in, a couple straight PAMA Pro championships, and now he's going to the show with us, and I'm telling you right now, if I'm an 18-year-old kid, I'm like, please just don't screw this up. I don't want to be on the rink for any goals. So, when we put him out there, he did his job, never gave us any, never looked at us like, hey, listen, I need more time. Was very respectful, nice kid to all the other guys, so, we
He's happy to be there
for that.
Yeah, we had the same scenario. We picked up Josh Dunn last minute to take the place of Charlie Combs, we know him well. We know his family. His little brother James had been our equipment manager for a few years.
Right.
You get a guy like Josh Dunn, who, I mean, he's captain at Clarkson University. And according to Kyle Kramer, he thinks he's going to be in the show one day. He's got the size, whatever.
Yeah.
Great kid. I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer kid, right, Greg, on the team.
Oh, yeah.
But same to him, he's thrown into a tough spot. He's with this group of guys that are so intense that are used to playing together, and he's filling big shoes. I mean, we're basically saying, hey, we need you to fill the shoes of Chris Terry, Matt White, and Charlie Combs. Can you handle it, kid? And he did great, but it's just, it's hard. He didn't know till 24 hours prior that he was playing with us. So, and shout out to Josh. Dunner did a great job, but it's just a tough spot to be in for these young guys, especially with a team like you guys or ours that have such a nucleus of guys that know how to play together and are so intense.
Yeah, when I first saw him on the rink, I had no clue who it was. I was trying to figure out like who you guys had, and then when I heard it was like Little Dunn, not so Little Dunn, I was like, oh yeah,
Done.
Pretty crazy.
Now, Aaron, like looking back to the game, I know you guys had a lot of quote unquote stars. Who are your top three stars of the game?
Right now, you're asking me to pick my favorite child. I mean, PJ played an amazing game. You know what? Billy for me, Billy just did all the little things that I want Billy, to do.
Let's hear one, two, and three.
Aaron, it's okay to be hard on your kids too. So let's hear here. Who you don't have to say a little something. You're like Greg right now. You don't have to say a little something nice about everybody. Just say who you thought, if you had to pick 3 stars of this game, and you could include the Roadrunners, obviously, who was your first, second, third star of this game?
All right. So I'll go with PJ. I'll go with Cal, and I'll go with Billy. I'll go with all 3 of my guys. Nothing. I mean, if I could pick a 4th star, I would pick the goalie from the other team, just, because if it's not for him, he, all right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Go.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. I had PJ, Cal, and then I had Billy personally. But then Tim brought up a good fact that Max actually played a real good game for the Roadrunners. He stepped up. So we gave Max a nod for the 3rd star. But yeah, I thought PJ did everything right. I mean, he came with fire. He set the tone for the guys. Made some awesome plays, both offensively and defensively. And Cal, I mean, come on, he got MVP. Knocked that puck out of the air, scored that sick goal, played unreal. So those are our stars.
Yeah, for me, I look at it and I go, and people may say this, like, kind of funny that, Cal was MVP of the game. How is he not the first star? We keep in mind, we don't pick the MVP. We have the on-site officials and whatnot pick the MVP. And it's really like a 1A, 1B here. But for me, same thing watching the game. I thought PJ was the most complete player on both ends of the rink. And you can't go wrong. You could say Cal, you could say Billy, and I'm a huge fan of Billy Pascali. But I just felt with Max, you know what? I wanted to give the Roadrunners maybe a player here in this, and because it wasn't, obviously there were 2 teams playing here, and I just thought Max, he was the one player on the Roadrunners to me that stuck out, that he stepped it up a little bit. He had that early goal for them. That early post he had against you guys, which could have been a goal. Then he scored the goal early in the second half for them to get him on the board and get the momentum back. He had that great pass behind the net that D Martino saved and blocked the shot on. He was just all over the ice for me, and he just showed no quit. And when I think of all the big guns on the Roadrunners, he was the one that didn't disappoint in this game for me. So I want to reward him with a 3rd star recognition in this one.
I give Keith 1 just because if it's not for Keith, they don't even get to that championship game. So I know we're talking about the championship game, but to me, there is no championship game without Keith. So I do want to give him.
Well, I said last week, Aaron, that I felt Keith was the MVP of the tournament. If I had to pick one person of the entire tournament, that if he wasn't there, their team, no chance would be in the position they're in. And to me, that's Keith. I mean, you saw a lot of the mishaps on the defense with you guys. To me, that even raises the eyebrows more about how valuable Keith is, because they do give up a lot of quality chances, not just shots, but quality shots.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's a nice picture.
And
Like those hats. Oh, you know what? Can you guys still give me a shirt I left the locker room to do some stuff, and when I got back, they were all gone. I don't know who took them, but yo, Thompson, you don't live too far away. Just do you have any in your house?
I'll have to look. I don't think we do.
Now we know why Aaron agreed to come on here today, Greg. Just to get
You promised me a shirt, Thompson.
Oh yeah, we ran out of shirts for our adults, but I'll look to see what we have because I know we had some smaller sizes left, but there might be one mixed
Aaron
in.
likes showing off those guns there, so he likes the men's.
I like a kid's medium if possible. Yeah.
Now, there's some great shots of you guys here, and there's obviously the big one there.
Oh look, Jay's got the mask now.
He's covering his chin, Jay.
Yeah.
He's got a bruise on his chin. He's covering this tournament.
That's just the club. Yeah.
Is Cal MVP? Had to feel pretty good for him. He's gonna go back to his border. He's probably gonna throw that on the floor the first game with the Border Cats and say, "You guys are holding me back here. Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, great stuff. Aaron, we appreciate you coming on today. I know, anything you can do from not getting home and seeing the wife and kids for a little bit extra, I'm sure doesn't hurt. But they probably got a bunch of chores for you to do when you get home.
Oh yeah. Once I get home, I got a lot of stuff. Oh wait, before I leave, my boy Brody, I miss you already, bud. I know you're going to be watching this on YouTube probably 100 times, so you want your name being said. So my man Brody,
Brody.
Hey, bud, love you, bud. And my girls, I kind of like you guys, Liv and Abby. And Kerry, thank you for letting me be part of this. So without Kerry, you guys wouldn't see me.
I'm gonna tell a funny Brody story. I still remember, Aaron, I don't know if you remember this, but our daughters, two of our middle kids are the same age.
Right.
They both played soccer, and we were at a soccer tournament against each other. And then all of a sudden, Aaron, he had to walk out. Brody was little, and he's peeing on one of the fields on a tree or whatever in the middle of the tournament because there's no bathrooms there. And he said, finally, I got a boy that I could do this with. But I still remember that. But Aaron, I want to bring up.
I have a great Brody story too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we were pulling into Amy's.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, so Amy was living in an apartment off of one of the exits, and there's like a little dead end area. So I'm looking over. I don't know. I see Aaron pulled over to the side. I'm like, that's Aaron. Why is he over here in this part of town? Like I never see him, in this area. It's in East Patchogue, or Belport area. And I look over, it's Aaron. And I'm like, hey, I'm just like, what are you doing? And he was like all scared and shook. And he was like, oh my God, like I'm getting caught doing something I shouldn't be doing. And I look over and he's like, Brody's got to take a piss.
Yeah. That was so, yeah. And we
got two stories. They're both pee stories for Brody.
Yeah.
All right.
So we learned a lot about Brody. He likes to pee a lot.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Tim?
Keep that cup away from Brody.
It's too late for that,
bud. No, Aaron, I want to ask you though, this is one topic that I know I had promised I wouldn't bring up to you today, but I feel obligated to bring this up. Just as my job here, I feel I have to do this. But how about those Dallas Cowboys?
There we go. The cow is now, Tim, be honest, being a lifelong Cowboy fan like myself, aren't you disappointed with just their effort? Like that's the thing that's driving me. I don't care about losing. It's their effort that's driving me crazy. It just seems like they want the #1 pick or something.
Yeah, you heard Troy Aikman say after the at the end of the game the other night, he made a comment. I don't know where the Cowboys, what they even do from here because there's so many things to address in the offseason. It's been obviously, there's no luck with them. Obviously, you lose your starting quarterback, you lose all your offensive linemen. You have all these issues, but you got to battle through stuff. As coaches here, I'm willing to say now, I think Mike McCarthy might be the wrong hire for this team, and maybe cut ties this guy right off the bat because I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from this coaching staff.
Oh,
and I'd love to bring in some young college. I hate with the NFL. I hate when I see like a 78-year-old guy, running the defense or, that kind of stuff. Games have changed.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see some young, fresh blood in there to ingest some energy into this team. And I know there's a Jerry Jones factor they talk about and everything else. But I got to say that, being a Cowboy fan as a lifer, other than that short period in the 90s, it's a very frustrating and hard team to be a fan of. It definitely drains you. I know Stephen A. Smith jokes around about that all the time, how they're always going to disappoint. But they had so much promise the last couple of years of this offense and everything. And I just feel like, 2 weeks ago, that loss to Washington, a couple of those coaching decisions on 4th downs and whatnot, and that fake punt, and it just such bad call decisions. And this whole show, our whole podcast is being a Monday morning quarterback.
Right.
But there's plays with that. Even when the call is being made, I'm thinking like, what are you doing? You know, and I just feel like they just constantly kick themselves in the ass.
Don't wait. Let me ask you a question. What would their record be right now? Everything else the same. Dak still gets hurt. What's their record with Jason Garrett right now?
I mean, we had issues with him as well, but I probably take him over Mike McCarthy right now.
Right? Because
you know,
somehow he ends up being like 8-8 anyway.
Yeah. I think I really wish they would went after Lincoln Riley or one of these college coaches and brought some, you know, it's no different than Major League Baseball and the NHL. They all, so when, you know, when the Rangers hired Quinn, I was happy. Like, I hate when you see a guy who gets fired,
Right.
you know, because he wasn't doing a good job, you know, and then he's 70-something years old. And then a month later, some other team that's rebuilding hires that same guy. It just makes no sense. I feel like this is just like good old boys club. They all take care of each other. And I want to see new blood in Dallas personally.
That's what I want to see too.
So, all right. Sorry, Greg. I know you don't like football. So we went
I
on
like
the
football.
Cowboys for a little bit there.
I like football.
But Aaron, we want to thank you for coming on for today. Congratulations again for winning, and love seeing that shiny cup. I see you're taking better care of it than the rink rat guys did when they had it. So thank Brody for washing. Now I know what he's washing it with, but thank Brody for taking care of it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for having me on. Okay. I'll see you guys around. All right.
All right.
Be safe, be healthy. Take
You
care,
too.
guys. Bye.
All right, buddy. All right, let's let Aaron go here. Yeah. So Aaron Weiss, so everyone at home sees that he actually does have a real job. He is a teacher, believe it or not, teaching our future at his school there. Hopefully he's teaching a little about hockey because he does a great job teaching black ice what to do. And I think you definitely see the difference when both Jason and I forgot to ask about the Batman and Robin question, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
But you can definitely see there's a great yin and yang with Jason and Aaron. They've been working together for so long. They do so well together. And when they're both there, I think they're at their best with black ice.
Yeah, it's like good cop, bad cop, right? You have a coach that kind of, you know, pats the guys on the head, same guy, you know, being positive type guy, and Jay's that guy. You know, he's not going to tell you you're awesome. You know, he's gonna want more, and even maybe curse you out at the same time. So they definitely have a good mixture there, like you said, Batman, Robin. Yeah, they're great when they're both there for sure.
100%. Well, we had another podcast here today, podcast 34, a little bit of a Beatles, John Lennon day with his death 2 days ago. Want to tribute John Lennon a little bit today with a couple little snippets of some songs today. Little Don't Let Me Down, which I hate to say, I felt like I let the Snipers down this year. Definitely could have done a better job with our team, but always 2021, Greg. And I know for us, speaking for the Snipers, and I'm sure every other team that didn't win this year, hopefully is feeling the same way, that I'm already looking forward to next year to prove that we're a better team than we showed last year, to get back on top where Black Ice is right now as a #1 team in the country.
Yeah, can't wait for it, man. You know, I don't have too much longer playing in this division, so honestly, just got to want to win. You know, got to win and leave with you know, retire in the pro division with a win. So be nice, really nice to get back on top.
Yeah, no, it's such a tough division. And, you know, it's funny. You heard Ryan Perry one time when he was on and George Brown was asking him some questions. The one thing that I always think about is, you know, Ryan made a comment, and I thought Ryan played awesome, by the way, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But he said he felt like he wasn't in the best shape. You know, whether he felt, you know, his skating legs weren't there or whatever. And I feel like a lot of guys talk about that, like, oh, I wasn't in the best shape, I got to get better, whatever. So here we are now. It's December 10th, whatever today is. And, you know, you have 8 months till State Wars, basically, you know. So every guy watching this right now in the PAMA Pro Division, there's no excuses. You got time now. Get yourself in shape. And I'll speak to my sniper guys specifically. You know, I don't want to hear excuses that I wasn't ready, I wasn't in shape. You see, Greg's got that Peloton behind him. Everyone's got chances now to work out, get ready, work on their game, whatever they got to do. But there should be no excuses why guys aren't ready for the PAMA Pro, because anybody that thinks, Greg, that you could just show up and play
Oh,
is
no.
sadly mistaken. And I
No.
think the young guys have seen that. They think it's going to be easy. I dominate the younger division. It's not easy for them. I think the older guys realize how good these younger guys are coming after their jobs. And the ice guys realize that how tough being on wheels are. And even for the roller dads, you know, they realize it's tough to compete with guys that are on the ice all year round, playing at a high level and training and whatnot. At that competitive side of things, physically, it's hard. And I know you've realized that as you've gotten older, when you're competing against a guy like, say, Matt White, who's playing overseas right now, and for the next 6 months, he's going to be working out on the ice 7 days a week, playing the highest level. And if you're just going down to, you know, rapid fire once or twice a week, you know, it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah.
So everyone's got to put their time in and they're working.
For sure. And I think it's a mixed bag here, right? Like, so, you know, for instance, I think there's two different being in shapes, right? There's hockey shape and then there's a physical shape, right? I think you need the best of both worlds there. You know, I think playing as much as possible, you know, is the best thing for you. You know, for example, right? I mean, look at Black Ice and the Roadrunners. They were skating a couple times a week, couple weeks leading into State Wars, right? They had high-end, high-paced action skating, and obviously it helped both teams. You know, Keith Johnson was there. You know, I think Kraft even came in from Pennsylvania a time or two.
Yep.
You had, you know, just high-end talent there, and that goes a long way. I think being in hockey shape is different than being in shape. So I think you kind of need a mixed bag there, and guys need to skate as much as possible.
Yeah, you know, and that's why the Roadrunners, you know, in closing for me, really impressed me this year, because I was worried about how they would come, knowing that they hadn't played much before, where, you know, normally in a normal non-pandemic year, a team like the Roadrunners, they're out in Cali at Norwich West, or they're at Norwich East, or they're at Tours, and they're playing junior, and they're playing D1, or they're playing whatever, and then they're playing pro. And then by the time they get to State Wars, they have so many hours in them that they're just primed. Where a team like, say, us may played in one tournament. You know, this year, you know, the Roadrunners were supposed to go out to Norwich. It got canceled. Didn't go to Tours, and they were worried about Florida with the virus and everything. So they didn't even go. So State Wars was their first tournament since Winter Nationals or Winter Wars.
Wow.
So I was wondering how they were going to deal with that. But it just shows you that it's nice to be young, you know, and they had guys skating a rapid fire or training on their own, and they have those young legs where I don't know if an older team would have been able to handle what they did, but it was so impressive. And maybe that's why that's just a slow start. You know, they didn't get going well. And then they finally picked it up against us, and they went on a run, and they played unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was worried about them for that because, you know, Black Ice, you know, they had been to Tours. And then I think coming home and doing those skates at rapid fire probably helped them a lot because they didn't, you know, they didn't make it out of the semis at Tours. They're probably unhappy about that. And then they come harder and they're ready for State Wars. So, you know, to your point, the more you can play is definitely big. And I think, you know, again, I guess my point is no excuses, guys. Everyone's got a lot of time to train now, and you probably have more downtime in a lot of our lives than ever. So let's get ourselves in shape because I think PAMA Pro 2021 St. Peters, Missouri will be the toughest pro division of all time.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And again, you know, no excuse to skate anywhere, you know, skate outside tennis courts or train, work out, do whatever you got to do. But there's a lot of time from now until then. So there's no excuses for sure.
Right. All right. Well, been a great job here again. And let's close here like we always do with our boy, the voice of State Wars, PJ Kavaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is PJ Kavaya, the voice of State Wars Hockey, and you are watching the SWH podcast brought to you by Glass Half Full Productions. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors, Mission Bauer, Tour, Alkali, La Beta, Rink Rat, Conix, Warrior, Monkey Sports, Yord Watches, Car Shield, Rocket Puck, Wraparound, and Top Shelf Targets. We look forward to seeing you all on the rink soon.
Well, thank you, PJ. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week. We'll figure it out. We haven't decided yet, Greg. We'll have to get a good guest with us now that our PAMA Pro division is done here. and our recaps. It's been fun recapping these games, doing a little coaching when we're not coaching. So it's been fun playing Thursday afternoon quarterback for the last few months here. So it's been great. But we'll get back to just having some great guests on. And if anyone would love to be a part of this show or has someone they'd love to see on the show, shoot us an email, shoot us a message, and maybe we could make those dreams come true.
Yeah, I mean, even for us reviewing these games, I mean, it sheds some light onto some players that we normally don't see too often. Getting to really watch their game a little more, game by game. So that was pretty cool to break down each player. So all good stuff. Really enjoyed it. And again, yeah, like Tim said, if you're interested in coming on or know someone on or who'd be a good guest, shoot us a line.
Yeah, and in finale here, I know Greg mentioned it earlier, it's our last day for our Is It Summer Yet t-shirt, State Wars exclusive shirt we offered for the holidays. They're being ordered tomorrow to go to print. So if anyone wants one, go online to our website, statewarshockey.com. They are available there. It's a pretty cool shirt. And like I said, it's a limited time offer. It will not be available at tournaments. There will be no extras. So check it out. I'd love to see some of you guys rocking that shirt next year. But always great seeing you online here, GT. I know we'll see each other tomorrow for a little bit, but always fun doing this with you. So great job as always.
Yeah,
And thank you to Mr. Black Ice, Aaron Weiss, for helping out and being a part of that and taking such good care of the cup. And thank you to his son, Brody, for keeping that thing nice and shiny.
Yeah, gotta. Yeah, hopefully he's holding it in these days.
Yeah.
His urine. So.